What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Over Greggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
For a second, I thought I was getting attacked by a snake and that you were going to try to help me, and then I realized your hand was the snake.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can understand why that got confusing.
It was very confusing.
Before I came at you, you thought you felt the phantom.
Well, I thought you were going to do the thing where you're like, oh, he's got something on him, and then your hand became the serpent and the rainbow.
The anaconda.
Let me touch your pecs again. Man, these are feeling good. These are feeling real good.
A lot of work on.
Tim, you touched these recently?
I have not touched them.
This is the pure one, Tim Gettys. Do you want to come touch them?
Yeah.
All right, come on and touch them. Okay, hold on.
Anyone wants to. Anyone can touch him.
Yeah. Get it.
Out of all the people at this table that I'd prefer to touch my chest, you two, not the first two.
Rounding out the quartet today, the internet's Meg Turney.
Yay!
Thank you so much for coming. Do you want to touch Nick's chest?
I do.
Okay, just I wanted to offer it out there.
And Joey, Kevin, you're welcome as well.
Get in line.
Andy Cool Greg, do you want to come touch Nick's chest?
I appreciate that you didn't immediately flex it. You gave me unflexed and flexed.
Oh yeah, he's not going to misrepresent it. Whoa, no, don't.
That.
Yeah, okay. We weren't asking for chops here. Yeah, just get in there and feel that. Does Cool Greg have headphones on? Do you want to? Oh, okay, when he comes out, let him know the offer's on the table. Kevin's in. Joey?
Kevin just cupped him
Andy, Andy, do you want to go downstairs to the comic shop and see if anybody there wants to come up and just
Kevin came in kind of like he was doing a
Joey.
breast examination, then also trying to molest me.
Yeah.
Joey just gave me a nice
Did it get
little,
you
I don't want to
going,
touch you, Pat.
She's like, it's a weird job. I should have thought this through better.
Yeah.
Part of the whole
What's the
thing.
name of the wrestler that had the snake, the hand snake thing? You guys know
Oh,
what
you're
I'm
Mr.
talking about.
Sacco on Mankind.
That's what you were when he was saying there was a snake. That's what
Yeah,
that
sure.
reminded me
Yeah.
of.
I mean, Jake the Snake had a snake.
Let me see.
Show
Yeah,
Meg
but
the
it was like a
Cobra.
hand snake.
Exactly.
Wait, does
python.
Meg need to see if the let me see if the python's sleeping. Hold on, let me see if I can wake
If
up.
you're listening to the audio, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Are you okay? Oh, he's up. We're in luck.
Oh,
We're
see?
in luck. Let me get. I'll go down and get him. Hold on, everyone.
He's oh, don't worry. There it is. There's the python.
Everyone. Oh, he's tired.
Is he tired? I hate the python so much.
I feel like he's always tired.
I just don't. You never know what it's about to do.
Sometimes when I work out, it looks like he swallowed a squirrel.
I'm always afraid he's gonna strike,
Okay,
but that's not really a python move.
Now, Meg, be honest with me. How long did it take till you realized he wasn't talking about his dick there?
I know shit. You started to lean down,
Yeah.
and you could see the hand. So I was like, "Oh, maybe it's his hand." But then it cut to like an above, and then I was worried it was your dick. So
We're always worried it's gonna be your dick.
That was a nervous laugh.
I have yet to be the person that takes off all of my clothes on a podcast.
But you were the guy who just slapped his muscles, so you're not far. You're not far.
Forearms are allowed. Usually, that privileged distinction goes to one Greg Miller.
Oh, that's
the
fair.
person who wants
He does
everyone to know that he
like
wears.
to-
I've never been
Yeezys.
full nude on the podcast.
You've come very close. You at one point brushed your underweared penis against Bruce's underweared penis.
That's true.
On a table in front of about 2,000 people.
Too much.
RTX, man. What happens at RTX
way
gets
too
broadcasted
much.
on the spot, and
Does
everybody
not stay
sees
in
it.
Texas. It goes worldwide.
It goes everywhere.
Greg, guess what? We went to Red Lobster for lunch.
I know. I'm very
Yeah, we
disappointed in
did.
you guys.
It is went up in my ranking. It went.
It
from
went
bottom
up in
tier.
your rankings.
Dude. I was talking shit
You're
on
such
Red
a
Lobster
fucking
for
idiot.
years. It's making its way up because they had the crab cooler. It's Crab Fest going on. Go to your local Red Lobster today to celebrate.
Sure.
If you got this drink, you get a free commemorative cup.
What
So I'm
was
gonna
the
drink my
drink?
LaCroix out
It
of
was
it.
the crab cooler. It's got like what did it have?
Was it alcohol?
Midori.
Midori.
Yeah,
It was like a
yeah.
Midori
It was
sour.
bright
Midori.
blue.
And it had
It looked
We
like
should-
if you took Nightcrawler and turned him into a drink.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. See,
you melted him?
What I had heard was that basically Red Lobster was as bad as I said it was.
No.
And,
How dare you?
And
Who'd
Andy
you hear that
Cortez.
from?
Andy Cortez.
No, he said that it took too long.
Oh no,
The service was terrible.
The service was
Atrocious.
terrible.
He had the
But-
biscuits multiplied in his throat into
well,
some kind of
because we were
fungus.
waiting for the fucking we were waiting for the water. I'm just gonna say here and now.
Just say it.
Beyonce doesn't take you somewhere if you fucked her good if it ain't good. You know?
Red Lobster.
She's
Red
pandering.
Lobster.
She was
Information.
pandering.
If you fuck her good, she takes your ass to Red Lobster, and that's because it's delicious.
She hasn't been to Red Lobster in decades.
How? Thank you.
Now wait, hold on.
I love how lost
hold on.
Nick is right
Tim,
now. What
am I
Nick?
thinking?
I don't know.
Exactly, you nailed it. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. Well, does Beyonce have sex? Is she a serial sex offender that has sex people and takes them to like Red Lobster?
For the
or what?
record,
I don't
let
understand
me
how
try to
this
explain.
happens.
Let me try to
Have
explain.
you heard of Becky with the good hair?
Let me try to explain. I also don't understand the reference, but I assume it was a lyric in a song, so I just
assume
roll
so
with
too,
it.
but you don't
How
know.
have
Maybe it
neither of
was
you
a weird-
seen cultural shifting, life-changing Lemonade?
Is that
It's her short film / visual album, and it has all of her amazing songs in it. And one of them has a lyric that says, "When he fucks me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster." So that's right.
Okay.
She doesn't go there often, though. So what's that say about Jay-Z?
I think she does go there often. You just don't know about it.
You're not checking her Insta.
I'm pretty sure if Beyonce went to Red Lobster all the time, we would know.
We
would know.
There's secret life.
You think they just sneak it? Like even there's a table in the kitchen, like at every Red Lobster, and they just
she could have her own goddamn Red Lobster
on
for all we
today's
know.
Crab Fest menu, we have this lovely hollandaise sauce.
Do I get the commemorative glass?
When you're here, you're
She's
here.
from Houston, man.
And yes, by the way, my Beyonce impression is just loud.
Yeah, that was quasi Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
I just
I
want
feel
you to
like it
know.
was a little.
And the waters
are receded into my Crab Fest glass.
Good Lord.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early. How early, Nick?
Each and every episode.
Topic by topic.
So early that you can be watching us record it live right now on your very own private link. Traverse it $1. Go over there and give us $1.
Yeah, it's
Bucks help. It's great. If you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. You can get it the following week, starting on Monday, broken up topic by topic until it goes up as one big video in MP3 the following Friday. Timothy.
Yes.
Where were we this past weekend?
This past weekend, we were at one Kevin Coelho's bachelor party.
Gucci!
In Las Vegas, Nevada. It was fantastic, and we would like to regale you with our tales.
Sure.
We're
Nick,
starting with a bachelor.
where do you want to start with? Why not? Just get it out. Just go right through
Sure,
it. You
I
know
don't
what
mind
mean?
it. I think we had a great weekend. I think it was a success, largely because no one got arrested and no one died. So I think that was right there. I think I did my job correctly as the quasi event organizer of this.
Was it quasi, or was Nick pretty much totally in charge?
I was helping put things together.
Plan.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone kind of
because again, we've talked
about
about this before. The Nick Scarpino bachelor party. It's been a thing that's been going on for many years. He has perfected it, where he did the bachelor party for our friend, or for yours.
No, here's how it started. I get credit for this, but really one Matt Scarpino, my big brother, should take a lot of the credit for this. He planned my bachelor party.
You mean Matt Scarpino from patreon.com/Midnight Ballers?
Correct. Go over there, check that shit out. He did a great job at my bachelor party. So then when I planned my buddy Eric's bachelor party, because I was his best man, I basically just rinsed and repeated. Took the things that didn't work, kind of threw them to the side, plugged in some more stuff, and we rejiggered it a little bit.
What didn't work?
On Saturday night after the pool day, we decided to go to a club, and I looked around at one point, and everyone was just like, I can't move.
It was a bad club.
And so it was a bad club, A, and B, it was just after we had spent the entire day in the sun at the cabana drinking our face. Like, I think we had like something like 700 Bud Lights or something like that. No one wanted to go out.
Of course you did.
No one wanted to go out. And so, yeah, so that was my plan this time. Well, first off, we should back up. If you're not having your bachelor party in Vegas, you're fucking up.
No, really?
That is the best. You have to have the bachelor party there. I've gone to bachelor parties in like Southern California. I've gone in Tahoe. They're just not as fun. There's not that much shit to do. Vegas is the place.
Okay.
Yeah. So the concept of the Great Bachelor Party is 2 days max. You got a 48-hour period in Vegas. Can't go any longer than that.
That's fair.
You go longer than that, you start to rot away
Yep.
on the inside.
It's dry. It's dry. The pure oxygen they pump in, dry.
It's terrible. And also, you start to realize there are no windows. You have no idea what time it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to
And you
get out.
cannot escape.
Exactly. Did you guys have fun this weekend?
Of course, yeah.
Have you been going to a lot of bachelorette parties?
No. And also, I don't really do parties.
Yeah.
I'm that person that's
why
like,
is that?
hey, thanks so much for inviting me. So important. I just, sweatpants and Netflix. But would have loved to have been there.
Right.
Thank you. Sweatpants. No, but I have been to Vegas a lot.
Oh, okay. It's a different experience,
Yeah.
though. Vegas and the bachelor party Vegas or bachelorette party Vegas. Different vibe.
I was born 70.
Yeah.
So like everyone else in my family got the party vibe, but for me, like even the thought of a bachelor party in Vegas sounds like, where are my sweatpants?
Sure. Yeah. I think there was parts of that where we were all admittedly old.
Yeah.
And then we
I think
felt like it was time.
But I think that was the good thing about this group, is that no one really pushed each other to be like, hey, we got to go fucking
on,
dominate.
Bro it up, bro.
So like, so Meg, so you know, everyone flew in on Friday afternoon. So basically we got there around like 1, checked in the hotel, went out and grabbed lunch there, and then we went over to the gun store to fire guns.
Yeah.
Which ended up being a super fun bonding experience, I think, and ended up being a lot scarier than I thought it was going
It was
to be.
really
I saw
scary.
the M82.
Holy fuck! We got Kevin. Well, when you go to the gun store, they have like packages they sell.
Yeah.
It's like for like $100, you get the gun store package. It's like a handgun and 2 machine guns. That was a blast. But we were like, no, Kevin deserves better. And my buddy Eric sprung for him to get the Coalition package, which included a squad automatic weapon, which is like a fully automatic, like the one that Rambo used to have, where like they put the bandolier of bullets in. It's like the newer version of that they use in the military today. So we had that, but then we were like, we got to take it up a notch, and we got him the 50 caliber gun, which I stand to this day is the gun that took down Ed 209 in the original RoboCop. Just want everyone to know that for visual reference.
So
if you're not familiar with guns,
a sniper rifle?
What's that?
Because it looked like a sniper rifle.
I think the gentleman who was ex-Marine there said it was a anti-tank weapon or something like that.
Yeah, no, the M82, the 50 cal is an anti-armored vehicle weapon.
Yeah, like he said,
I fired it before.
They have rounds. He was saying
I'm from Texas,
that.
bitches.
Whoa!
Just
He
kidding.
said
I
there's
was
rounds
California.
that will pierce the side of a tank.
Yeah.
And then once they go through, they explode so hot that they'll suck all the air out of the tank and like just kill everyone inside.
We've become disgusting monsters of warfare.
It is. I mean, it was like so. It's very weird for me because like I have no problem playing a first-person shooter, and like that is totally. I'm like totally removed from anything that really means or any sort of like. Any ramifications or repercussions from that. But then when you actually hold a gun in your hand and you pull the trigger and you hear how loud it is and the smell of the gunpowder and the heat from the gun hits you, it's fucking intense.
I mean, even if you're not shooting it, I didn't shoot any. I was just there.
Yeah, you guys didn't want to shoot. You were like, nah, we're good.
I was in the
but
back.
You were there to watch.
And even with the handguns, when they'd shoot, you'd see this like energy wave, and it's like nothing I've ever seen in my life or experienced. It's not even just see it. And when Kevin shot that fucking 50 cal, his hair just exploded.
We got it.
And I was like,
Joey, make a note because we have a slow-mo video. I think Sean Finnegan took of that, and it was you see the Dragon Ball. Like for those of you that ever like that are anime fans, if you ever watched Akira and you saw that bubble in the very beginning of it, how it like blew up Tokyo, that's what it looked like coming out of
but on Kevin's head
hands. Yeah, it was fucking intense.
We call him Deathbringer.
It's scary.
It's very scary.
I shot it once and said like, did that? Do not ever want to do that again. It is absolutely terrifying. But shooting like an AR-15 is like, oh, I can see how people really like these. Like this is fun. You're like, there's not a lot of recoil. You can really like the sights are really great. Like it's fun to shoot that.
So we shot, I forget which 2 machine guns I shot. I think one of them was an M16, like proper M16. And I think the other one might have been I want to say MP4 or MP5. I can't remember which one it was. But the machine guns were what I would call dangerously fun.
Yes, exactly
where
right.
you like one of them had a red dot scope on it, and I was aiming, and the guy's like, you've heard it before. Like I think I saw it in Call of Duty. It was like the red dot scope. Whatever the dot's at, like that's where the bullet goes. And the guy said that to me. He's like, wherever the dot is, the bullet goes. I'm like, bullshit. And I'm like, it can't be that easy. Sure as shit. It's super easy to hit it. Now, granted, the target was about 6 feet away from us, so you can't not hit the fucking target. But it was actually a lot more fun and like physically adrenaline inducing than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can definitely see how people could get into like.
Have you shot guns before?
I've shot guns before, yeah. But I shot guns. The last time I shot a handgun was in Arizona, and I went out with my Uncle Mike. And my Uncle Mike was like one of those guys that's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm like, Uncle Mike always taught us lessons. And so when we shot, I think he had a 38. And he was like, and I was like, Uncle Mike.
How old were you?
Oh, it's probably like 11 or 10 or 12.
Here comes the fucking lesson.
My parents were there. My
Smashed
parents,
into my
we owned a
face.
shotgun. And so my mom was like, hey, I want to take my shotgun out and actually try to fire it. It was for home, protection. So she wanted to make sure she fired off a couple rounds before she took on the home invaders that way. Which I was like, Mom, this is not a good idea. You should not get a shotgun. But my Uncle Mike was like, he was like, we're gonna take you out, but I want you to experience what this is for real. Like, I know that you watch, this is like late 80s, early 90s. So he's like, you're watching a lot of these action movies and you think this is like, that's reality. That's not reality. Like reality is like what you're about to experience. I was like, cool. So first off, like the weight of the gun is something you don't realize. The weight of a fucking revolver, all steel revolver is super heavy in your hands. Then there's the fucking ear piercing. Like we were wearing ear protection. And we were firing 9mm, which I have to assume are slightly less loud than like a 44 caliber or 38. I fucking squeezed off a round without ear protection on. Oof. And I heard a ringing in my ears for like, I shit you not, 2 days. And I'm like and it was terrifying. And the recoil on it was terrifying. Granted, I'm a little kid with, little kid strength. So I didn't really.
I'm a grown ass man. Those sounds scared me.
But dude,
when the first one went off, I was not ready for it.
Oh, first one went off, I'm gonna shit myself.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I came in because I was like, it was not good. I was sick from the ride in on the plane. Like my stomach was already queasy.
Flying into Vegas sucks.
Oh god, it was
always bad.
Yeah.
But so that was the experience, but what's also was also unsettling was how quickly I became acclimated to it.
Yep.
Where I was like, oh, I'm just kind of used to the loud noises now, and I was like, I kind of want to fire a fucking gun again. And when they offered for everyone to go to take a shot with the 50 cal, I was like, no, I think I'm done.
Yeah, you punked out of that.
I bitched out on that one, yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that was fun. And then after that, we had dinner.
But before that, I want to say that I know that was a success because there was another bachelor party in the same room as us.
Who were watching
and
us.
They all had these like dinky ass little guns. And by the time they were like almost done shooting what they were shooting, we were shooting these fucking giant ass things. They stopped what they were doing, just filming us.
It was, and I shit you not,
yeah.
not to make another RoboCop reference.
Sure,
but it was
go
like
ahead.
that scene in RoboCop where all the cops are firing. They're like, what, their PPK guns, whatever it was, and then it's like, and like one by one, they all looked over at us, and we were just fucking RoboCopping the shit out of targets.
Great.
And at one point, my brother, the guy was like, "Look, you're not supposed to do this. But here's what you're gonna do. These are fully automatic rifles. I want you to burst fire for the first few, and then when I know the coast is clear, my boss isn't listening. By the way, he said that every time, and the boss never showed up.
Of course.
So of course, it was just a spiel, but whatever. And Troy was a nice guy. The gun story was awesome.
Was he?
He's like, I'm gonna.
Was he a nice guy?
And sexist
Little
and all
racist
the
and
ifs.
sexist.
I mean,
like that
he
whole
was-
place I was in, I'm like, this is just way too much testosterone. How you doing, Troy? He's like,
Well, to be
yeah,
fair-
that's what we call the bitch gun or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, all right, you're a bitch wrist. That's it. I'm like, all right, great.
He jammed the gun.
To be fair, he did have a bitch wrist. So
Eric Hart had a bitch wrist.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
he
had a
held
wrist
the
that-
gun
Apparently,
properly.
the term bitch wrist, which is a new term in my lexicon now, refers to when your wrist, you're not holding the gun with enough strength so that your wrist doesn't buckle. And so when it kicks back, if your wrist is too slack, there's too much slack in your
too
wrist,
bitchy.
it'll actually it'll actually catch it'll jam the gun. And so he jammed the gun after his first shot, and they were like, "You got a bitch wrist." So that was-
usually happens with the women.
So the guys- I
and the
mean,
girl
look.
next door kept yelling or screaming or something. I'm like, all right, you're an asshole.
It was very broy. It was very broy. I mean,
What
this
you
is a
expect.
very broy experience going there, and a lot of very macho experience. I'll say that. But our core group of guys, I think we were having a blast.
Our group was great.
And it wasn't until the squad automatic weapon came out that I was like, I think Kevin's really enjoying himself right now. Now, granted,
He did the Kevin laugh a lot. Give
Yeah.
it to me, Greg.
but when
happening a
you
lot.
it's terrifying though. Like when he just held down the trigger and that fucking thing rattled off like, oh, what do you think? Like 30 rounds in about.
He's shaking his head. Yes.
3
Kevin, you can come
seconds?
over. You want to chime in? Huh? Do you want to come over and chime in on your own bachelor party?
Oh, you got a mic right there too if you want to. Whichever one's easiest for you.
But if you want to come back, you can do
I
it.
don't know if you can see her.
Okay, whatever's easiest. No, come on, come talk. It's your bachelor party. I want to hear what your
Nice. He's
experience
kicking
was with
Joey
it.
out. Joey's learning how to do it. He's
Well, he's
kicking
sitting in
it.
a chair.
Huh?
I don't know. There's a whole other setup over there. I can't.
You
what's
can't see
going on.
past this giant TV we bought.
500.
Yeah, that was an amazing.
So which
experience.
weapon was the best for you there, Kev?
The scar, the one I posted.
Oh,
on
you like
Instagram.
the scar?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That was loud as fuck too.
yeah, the scar was definitely the best. No, I'm sorry. The saw.
Definitely.
The saw.
No.
Oh, the squad automatic weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the scar was the best until I had the saw, which is just the giant version. God, that was so much fun. And then the 50 cal was a lot of power.
It was an experience.
Yeah.
The
and
50
it's
cal was
just
the
not
one
as
that
fun,
really got
just
that
the
party
one
next to
shot,
us
yeah.
to stop.
Yeah.
They were like, because the thing is fucking like 6 feet tall. I mean, long
Yeah, it
rather.
is.
It's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
You've seen them, obviously. I'll tell the audience this. And so like the guy's like, yeah. I mean, like even holding the thing was a chore. Like my brother muscled it up, and he's a pretty strong guy, but I could tell he was sweating with it. But dude, that thing came out, and everyone around him was like, "What the fuck is that thing?
Nope.
Are we taking down a mech with that? Like, what the fuck, man?" And the sound of that fucking thing. The first shot, I actually kind of bitched out, and I cupped my ears a little bit so it wouldn't be that loud, and I forgot to do that on the third one, and it was loud as fuck.
You didn't have ear protection?
We had them, but
you
I
had to push
I
'em
depressed
in?
them
I
into
see,
my ear
okay.
to like make it
I
because
can't
I was
imagine
like,
shooting
I was
that
freaking out.
indoors. I was like out on a mountainside, and it was still so
It was
loud.
It was all sulfur afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just
Cloud.
gotta
Like,
hit
oh,
with it.
geez, all right.
So that was that. I think everyone, and we got free T-shirts, of course, and took the obligatory big group picture with all the T-shirts and stuff like that. And we got a free ride back. So that was just a great beginning of the
it's
day.
a nice little shuttle ride.
That was fun. And then we went out to dinner. We all got dressed, went out to dinner at Libertine Social, which I thought was a delectable little meal.
Really good.
That was, by the way, I could tell. I know Greg Miller's comfort zones, right? Macho Marines firing guns, no. Appetizers and a delectable craft cocktail, right up his alley.
I don't mind Marines. I just don't like these
don't
guys.
mind
These guys are
Marines.
I don't
assholes.
mind
They were.
Marines.
I mean, they were
I would
definitely.
revise that statement immediately.
They were, the guys that were shepherding us through the gun process were definitely aware that we were a bachelor party, and I think they were trying to play into that a little bit.
Yeah, it's
but-
like that guy probably is like actually a feminist who, when he goes home,
totally.
is like
Totally
he's
doubt
got
that,
like a
yeah.
liberal blog.
They were
He's
the
just
worst type of
playing a
human being.
character
That makes more
you
sense. Of course,
to give you that.
I don't know if that's
that immersion.
I don't know if that's a fair assessment of this man's private life. I would not go that far, but
The Marines are lovely people.
they are, of course. Well,
Well, shout out to Marines.
Shout out
of
to
course.
Marines.
Shout out to the
Don't
Air
forget
Force.
the Air Force, the Navy, Army, all good. Air Force
But
good.
I was fascinated by how much I actually enjoyed and was terrified of the entire process. Like even
Yeah.
toward the end, I was like, "This is like nerve-wracking."
I mean,
it's
it was
nerve-wracking
way
to fire all
more
these fucking
enjoyable than I
guns.
thought it was going to be. I was like,
You
I
weren't
don't
looking
know
forward
what
to it.
part
You
it
weren't
is.
looking forward to it.
But like, it was like
I was indifferent. I
hearing
like
it
shooting
and seeing it, I was
guns.
like, oh,
For
this
me,
shit-
it was like when we walked in, I saw the price of the package. I was like, oh no, I'd rather spend the money somewhere else. And that was my thing.
Oh, okay, I see that.
I love shooting guns, but I walked in, it was like $100. I'm like, nah. I'm fine.
Well, what we could have done for like I think it was like $30, you could have just shot handguns.
No,
for
I saw.
like 30
Well, that's the
rounds
thing.
of
But I've
handguns.
shot a ton
Like all
of
the
handguns.
idiots in the other one.
Yeah, they're like the shitty bachelor party.
I mean, to be fair, the handgun was a lot more difficult to shoot than the rifle. Like I couldn't hit shit with the handgun, but with the rifle, I was like right to the dick, right to the dick,
Right to the dick,
Of course,
right
I was
to the
going for the
dick.
dick.
You
I want
always
people-
go for the dick.
I don't want to kill someone, but I want them to fucking remember me if they fuck with me.
Yeah, apparently.
One to the
Fuck
dick,
with me.
2 to the dick, 3 to the dick. So after that, we turned in early and went to church the next day.
Oh, did we?
And
Oh,
that was the
good.
rest of the bachelor
Oh,
party.
okay, great.
That
Okay,
was great.
cool. Yeah.
That was super good.
No, we went to strip club.
We went to a strip club after.
Yeah.
And
Which
we
one did you go to?
We went to the Crazy Horse 3.
Crazy
Now-
Horse 3, which
now-
there's a lineage to this. They
There
had to
is.
shut down Crazy Horse 1 and Crazy
2.
House 2.
The last time I was at a Crazy Horse was Crazy Horse 2. And I had a much better time at Crazy Horse 2 than Crazy Horse 3. Crazy Horse 3, just a sham. You might as well have walked in, put down $1,000, lit it on fire, and then walked out.
The word of
That is
the
the
weekend
that
for me
is-
was swindled.
we got swindled.
We got swindled.
At one point, I think, because we were like, oh, we're going to get Kevin some lap dances or whatever. Like, we're going to make sure he has a good time. And at one point, I think one of the women working there realized that all of us were like more than forthcoming, like to make sure Kevin had a good time with like lap dances. And I think at one point she was like, hey, I just gave your friend a lap dance. It's going to be like $25. And I'd be like, oh, here you go. And then they'd go to my brother and be like, I just gave your friend a lap dance. It was yeah, I think all of us ended up paying
I'm pretty
like,
sure that me, Nick, and Matt had paid for the same girl to give a
like
lap
for
dance.
like an hour.
Oh,
It was
my
terrible. It was
God.
terrible. And they like
How are you not
overcharged.
paying attention?
I mean, we were. I mean, a strip club. There's other things to look at.
I guess,
I'll
but
be
I'm
honest
just
with you,
like,
Meg,
The
take a
worst
little
thing-
my
look-see.
attention may have been diverted a little bit here and there.
Well, then you deserved it.
I mean,
That
I-
woman,
they were
playing the
she's an
game. God
entrepreneur.
bless them. They did what they had to
She's
do.
an
It's a business.
entrepreneur.
I didn't see Kevin all night. He was just covered in women.
I mean, and you know that's it's supposed to be.
Kevin, Kevin's trying to drop
I
in.
was just gonna say like the most interesting like part of all that is that like that was my first time ever going to like a real strip club, and I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah,
I was trying
I
to
don't
get.
enjoy it at
I
all.
Okay.
spent like
Such a smart man over there with his like, I couldn't possibly have enjoyed all these fantastic tits in my face. Oh,
Shout out to
it
the
was
tits.
horrible.
It's such an awkward experience. There's
It
something
is.
about me that I am not good at handling those things where I'm just like, I wish there was a screen in front of me. Like I just want to watch.
I
you
totally
can do
understand
that.
that.
I don't
like,
wanna-
They have those
I don't
too.
want my
It's called
someone.
YouPorn. Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't want someone next to me, right? Like
Yeah,
I'm getting
I-
danced on, and my friend is over there. I'm not. There's no scenario where you're gonna be like, ah, fuck yeah, girl, give it to me.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hey,
Okay.
anyway, you know what I mean? Like,
That was the thing. That was the funny thing about this thing is like we just all kept having the same conversation of just being like it was Kevin, so he didn't have it, and then I'm there with people I've never been to, and it was me and Eric Hart just having like an in-depth conversation for the longest time, and just like I've never understood this. This has never been sexy for me,
You're
but
all
we
going
all
to
feel like
get
we have to do this.
boners together.
It's
I feel
all.
like we nailed it. Like it sounds like we're putting it down. It was necessary. It was very necessary.
Was it?
I think it was.
Okay.
It's for
I mean, it was
for the
fun.
experience. Kevin's never been to a real strip club.
Yeah, and now he knows.
has to be to a
Now
real
he's
strip
half the
club.
battle.
Now I'm down to never go again in my
It was,
life.
but the thing is, like, it's very weird, and maybe it was just the strip club we went to. But prior to that, I'd gone to other strip clubs that were not as like fancy as that, and the vibe was a lot more fun, where it was a lot more like, hey, like not as predatory, like going inside. Not for us, but for the
Right.
like going in and going like, oh, these guys are a mark, like I'm gonna hit them and like make sure I get as much money as possible. Like the last time I went to one for a bachelor party, I remember it. I mean, it's always just kind of the same strip club environment where it's not that crazy enjoyable. But at least the guys, we were like left alone enough to like hang out and actually get drinks, and the bottle service wasn't like out fucking outrageously expensive, which you got taken for on that. Like you
I
put your
didn't
card
get
down.
taken. It was what it was.
They gave you, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like that whole process just total. I'm like, this is. I feel like we're being swindled every step of the way. If they'd have been like, hey, the bottle service is, granted, the bottles, when you buy bottle service anywhere in Vegas, it's gonna be 4 times or 5 times what you walk into a fucking Costco and buy a bottle for. You buy a bottle of Jack Daniels for $30. I think a bottle of Jack Daniels in a strip club is like $400. But then seeing all the stupid added shit they put on top of that, where somehow a $400 bottle of alcohol goes up to $800 because they delivered it to your table, is like,
it had a sprinkler in it. Are you kidding? A little sparkler at the top.
Yeah, I didn't realize at the time when she was like when we went in there and like, all right, the bottle, we did a bottle of bourbon. It's like it's $450 for this, right? And everyone's on the same page at anybody's bachelor party, right? Of like, it's this guy's bachelor party.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this whatever.
Right.
So like I went in there, I'm like, sure, and the guy like he's like, you understand? There's like, I'm like, I know there's charges or whatever. And we went and sat down, and she's like, all right, cool. And she's like, what do you want? I'm like, we'll take this. And she's like, all right, cool. Do you want the presentation? I stupidly said no. Because I was like, no, just bring it out. And then when I got the bill, I was like, oh, well, I should have made you work for it. Because the presentation it's like 3 people who walk out with this giant $100 bill that lights up, and inside is the bottle, and it's like shooting shit out. I'm like, yeah, we should have fucking done that. But I was just so excited to drink. I just wanted more bourbon.
My favorite thing of the strip club experience is one Cool Greg Gettys. Having him,
big old CG,
having him be there. I've never seen a human being.
He does not like it.
Less interested in anything happening ever than that. He was just sitting there, just like, and people would be coming up to him. He'd be like, "Nah, bruh." And I'm like, I love you.
At one point,
gentle soul.
At one point, I was a little drunk, so I'll admit that. I had some alcohol in me, and I was like, "Cool, Greg, I'm getting you a lap dance." And I called over a very nice-looking young woman, and I was like, "This is my friend Cool Greg. We call him Cool Greg. He'd love lap." And before I got the sentence out, Cool Greg was like, "I'm good," and literally got up and walked away. And I was like, you know
like
what?
the
I guess he's
follow-through.
good. Like at one point, I thought he was gonna like stiff arm her to like get her off him, because she went to go sit down, and he pulled like a
Heisman.
fucking pulled like a wide receiver, like stiff arm, and just like banged out. I was like, and then he was gone for the rest of the night.
Don't touch the girls.
Eric Hart tried too, and yeah, it was like it was Cool Greg and Eric were sitting across from each other, and the stripper was here. And Eric Hart's like, my friend, and like Cool Greg just leaned across. He's like, I appreciate what you're trying to do, man, but no. And just leaned back. And we were like, all right. And then Cool Greg and I got cigars, and we just chilled out. That was my favorite part of that night.
Well,
was smoking cigars and drinking with Cool Greg.
That's what it's supposed. That was what I was hoping it would be, right? Which was once we got through all of whatever the shenanigans were going to be, like we would all just get to hang out at a club, drink booze,
and we did,
and hang out, and we did. But I feel like it was such a sour experience right off the bat.
No, I was not sour. Honestly, I wasn't soured by any of it. I expect the upcharge, like where you're like, you got to do it in Vegas. I know what doing it in Vegas is going to entail. You know what I mean? And so it's even the same way. Where in the beginning when we got there and like they're checking IDs and like, oh hey, do you want like Crazy Horse Bucks or whatever? I'm like, what the fuck's that? And they're like, oh well, we have, you give us the cashier, we give you the dollar bills that have the thing.
Which
I'm like,
by the way, even the fucking bar wouldn't take. Because like, I'm not taking those. You gotta give me real dollars for 10.
And I was like, I only had 20, so I was like, yeah, sure, give me $20 worth because we'll throw it to Kevin or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, And I was like, can we give it back at the end? And like, oh yeah, totally. I'm like, all right, great, no big deal. And we went in there, and it never left my pocket because Kevin was taken care of, and I wasn't gonna do anything. So I'm just chilling out. And on the way out, me and James walked up, and we're like, all right, can we get this back? Like, oh, we won't refund it. And I was like, all right, well, and even then I was like, I respect the hustle. You lied to our faces. I knew better. I knew this was a weird transaction to do, but I did it. You got me, Crazy Horse 3.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll see you at Crazy Horse 5.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess that's where my disappointment lies, right? Where I'm like, there's some
where's the line, Nick?
There's some disconnect in my brain where I'm like, well, you're paying this much money. The proprietors of the establishment should want you to have a good time. But at every step of the way, I feel like we were lied to.
Well, they expect everyone's too drunk to realize, and they're just like, we can just get as much money as humanly possible.
No, I appreciate that, but prior to that, every time I'd gone to a club, I was like, I'd walk in and be like, okay, here's what's going to happen. In order to sit down, you guys have to have bottle service. If you guys want to have chairs, here's bottle service. Here's how much it costs. And that's how much it cost. Like the last time I went to a club, I think it was like the Olympic Gardens, which doesn't exist anymore because
the OG.
I think it got shut down because it was a brothel. But we'd go there and they were like, hey, it's $300 a bottle. And sure as shit, we got 3 bottles. It was like $900. That was it. And I'm like, okay, overcharge me is one thing. Steal from me is not. That's not cool. And then why the fuck?
Vegas.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just feel like that
if you want an honest
it's just gotten
strip
worse.
club, you go to the Admiral Strip Club on the outskirts of Chicago.
Right.
There are 2-for-1 coupons from back in the day. We used to print off on my mom's printer and take them in when one day we're bored. We're like, what do we do? And like, wait, we're 18. We can go to a strip club. And we printed these off, and man, did those people hate us because we had no money. But we got in cheap, and they were nice to us.
You can also go to the strip club in Boston that we went to that time where there actually were no strippers.
Get to go.
Yeah.
We went. We were really
There was
drunk
just a
after
poll.
party. We went. There was a poll. There was one girl there that I don't think she was a stripper. I think she was just hanging out. And I think they were actually waiting for one of us to get up. That's how that went. I was like, "Are there strippers here?" They're like, "Yeah, there are."
You just got here,
There are
bro.
now.
Got here, buddy. Why don't you take your pants off, get up there, show us your leg hair.
So we left there in a limo.
Left
'cause
there
we're
in a
ballers.
limo. That was fun. Came back. What did we do after that?
We wandered around, drank a little bit. That was when we
we
were
got
going
food.
to
We
gamble.
went to that bar.
Yeah, we were going to
ate some
gamble,
really
but we
good
couldn't
food.
find a blackjack table that could fit all of
Right.
us. So we just went up to the Irish pub and ordered food there.
And I had my first car bomb.
And Kevin had an Irish car.
fuck.
bomb.
Fucking
Yeah, that's
delicious.
that's the point that I was like, I've had too much alcohol. I'm going to just go back to my room and pick up a small snack. And I picked up, for whatever reason, and this is
Here we
how
go.
drunk I was.
Here we go.
A tuna sandwich from the gift shop,
God.
Why? What the fuck is wrong with you?
which ended up
Jesus.
being, and I shit you not, 99% soggy. Like
Oh,
as I
who
was
could
taking,
have-
Oh my God, Meg! What a shocker!
as I
Oh
was
my
taking the sandwich out of,
God.
you know how the plastic that's cut like a half a sandwich diagonally, you know, I'm taking it out and I'm having to pry the pieces away from each other because they've become one congealed ball of tuna.
Who could have predicted?
And I ate the entire thing.
Of course you did. Of course you did. You
Nick,
drunk
sure
piece
did.
of shit.
God,
Of course
no.
you
I
did.
ate the entire
Nick.
thing, and I ate that, and then I realized I also bought a bag of Cheetos and was too full to eat the Cheetos.
Okay, good. Okay, at least there's a limit.
Wow.
So the next day,
Saturday. We're on Saturday now. The bachelor
wake
party
up,
weekend.
grab a little breakfast, and this is the day I was looking forward to most because I knew it was going to be a fun day of frivolity and male bonding and just alcoholism, and that's exactly what it was. We rented a cabana, a very nice cabana, at the Moria Beach Club, which is the adult pool of Mandalay Bay.
Which is my favorite word.
Also, toptional. It is a
Toptional.
toptional pool.
Oh, have fun.
Meg just perked up.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
This was fun largely because the pool itself was a cool vibe, but our little cabana area was like closed off and like slightly elevated, so we got to feel
Give
like
the
ballers.
pro tips for the people at home. They're trying to throw some bachelor parties at the Moria Beach Club.
So there are
This is
three. There
fantastic.
are three different types of cabanas at the Moria Beach Club, right? There are the normal, like, hey, we're just like a little bed that's covered, but it's out in the middle with
get the umbrella,
with the
you get
pedestrians.
the-
You know what I mean? The peons,
normies.
the norms, right? Then there's the pavilion level cabana, which is what we got. Now it's a little pricey, but if you have 10 dudes, it's not that bad. Then there's the baller ass cabana that's elevated. That sucks. Because you're too far removed from everyone
Yeah.
to actually feel like
You're
you're,
in your
part of the
ivory
party.
tower
See, what
up
you
there.
want is you want to
Unless
feel like
you want to be removed.
you want to feel like you're part of the party, but that at any given point you're better than everyone.
Yeah,
But you
So
want
it's like
them to be able to
you want to
see
be able
that
to
you're
see
better
them, and
than
you want them
them.
to be able to see
I
you.
just like I've done like VIP parties for conventions where they're like the cosplayers are gonna come, they're gonna be there, and they're gonna be in the VIP section. But what it really is we're gonna be just slightly, we're gonna be 3 feet higher than
Right,
you
in a row.
and you're going to see that we're
Yes.
not talking to you or
Yeah,
hanging out with
100%.
you, and we just look like assholes.
Yes, you do.
Which
Yes,
is
you do.
different in that scenario versus this scenario. Which
They're
is
not
just,
paying to hang out with you. I agree with that.
So this
That's
is just
fair. That's fair.
awesome.
This was
Because
fun.
we also not only do we get our own the pavilion, it's a private pool, so
It's
we
a
get our
private
own
pool.
pool elevated
that's
away
nice.
from other people's.
Yeah,
pools.
so it was
we're not
it
just
ended
the
up
creepy
being
dudes.
Is it your
staring
own
at
pool or
the,
just the other
there's
pavilion
there's
level? Okay.
four cabanas in the
Okay.
pavilion, and everyone gets to share the small like little waiting
I see.
pool. That was cool. And so it was us, and then there was like another couple or a bunch of couples next to us that were like
3 couples next to
So
us.
here's the
Three
thing:
couples next
there's
to
the
us, like, get away from
four.
the kids.
One of them, the people just straight up didn't show up, so
Right.
we lucked out. Then there was these older couples, like 3 older couples. Then there was
They
us.
were awesome.
And then in the other
there was
one,
creepy guy.
there was just one dude.
No, people showed up
Creepy.
with him eventually.
One.
Oh yeah, they
one
did.
that-
Like I think his girlfriend showed up eventually.
Yeah. But yes,
But he was
one woman
pretty
did show
creepy
up
beforehand.
eventually.
And this is
but it
me
was just
saying
one
that. I'm very
dude holding
creepy.
it down.
Yeah, he was
And
holding
I'm like,
fucking
what is
down.
this dude's story?
They probably, nobody was like, everybody got too drunk the night before. Everyone was like, let's just skip, let's go to brunch. And he's like, I paid for this fucking
paid for it.
cabana.
I'm getting my money out of
going
this.
to the cabana by
Yeah.
myself if I have to.
Which is
He was
oddly
there on his own.
that was
I
Greg's
talked to
theory
him
as
for a
well.
while.
You what?
Greg's theory as well, because we were watching and so all of us got there when it opened at 11, right? There was a big line or whatever. And I'm like, wow, the crowd here is a little older than I remember it being. Like it's mostly people in their late 30s, early 40s, maybe 50s trying to get away
Nick
from their
starts
kids.
sweating. Nick
and
starts
I'm like,
panicking.
I don't know if this is going to be a fun scene for us because it was like very like
12:30, Nick's panicked of like, there's just no young people come. There's no one our age.
I
And I'm
was like, yeah,
Nick,
where's
at
the party? There was
by
no party.
2 o'clock, another bachelorette party will have come in. It'll be fine. And sure enough, there had been.
and sure
everything was
enough, by
fine.
2 o'clock, a couple, like
All
a bunch
the-
of parties. Of,
all
like,
the
younger
kids
people
our
came in.
age, and I'm an old man, but all the kids our age, Tim's age, had woken up from their slumbers, had their brunches, come out to party,
Right.
have some fun.
And so the party ensued. and we met up with a bunch of other groups of people and invited them up to hang out with us
Oh, you get to bring people in.
Yeah, we could bring whoever we want. They were like, "Do you want people to come in like to hang out with you guys?" And like if and we're like, "Whatever." Like, sure. But the issue being, of course, they're going to come drink your booze, and like if they run up a huge tab, you're on the hook for it.
Yeah.
And so we understood that. We were like, "Whatever. We don't fucking care."
Let's
Like,
have a good time.
we have this private pool. No one's here.
Though,
Let's get everyone in.
You're not bringing up the most important thing though, Nick.
Go for it.
The shirts. So the key to a bachelor party is the shirts. You need to have matching shirts. People need to know that you're a squad, that you're rolling deep.
And here's why. Because I walked around with that shirt, and every group of people were like, because the shirt said Kevin Coelho likes the party 2017. Every one of them was like, who's Kevin Coelho? And I'm like, well, let me tell you who Kevin Coelho is. Kevin Coelho is that very nice gentleman up there with that very nice bachelor party with the free beer. Head on up there if you guys want to come party with us. And it worked. And people were like, fuck, why not? Why wouldn't I want to come party with you guys?
I wish I had a shirt. It's like, well, guess what? We bought extras.
And we brought more.
So you brought them with you.
We have an army of people in fucking our shirts.
My goal was to try to get as many of the shirts out there as possible so that people thought we threw the party, the whole fucking party.
And then the extra thing is,
Meg, it's
you
a
should have
brilliant
brought a
scheme.
t-shirt cannon.
That would have been fun, but I think that might have got us kicked. Well, because we were drunk, and at one point Kevin probably would have pointed that at someone and killed him with it.
we had a
Sorry, Kevin.
Snapchat filter as well of
when we
Kevin
talk about
wearing the
this.
shirt, so people that were there would know, like, oh man, those guys, which is awesome.
It's a brilliant idea, and I'm glad I got to finally see it in action because I'd heard about it from the other bachelor parties, and then to see it enacted of like the shirt slowly proliferating, and you and Eric, or you and who I think you might have gone at one point, but just patrolling. Where like for no reason they're like, we're gonna walk, and they just walked around the pool until somebody would be like, what the fuck is this?
It was a great conversation piece, and I felt like you have to be the you have to be the emissary for the party, right? You have to make sure that people are understanding that there's shenanigans happening up there, and that there's a fun time happening, and that they're welcome to come join the party if they want. And we invited multiple people, like groups of people up, and a lot of people were kindly declined. And then there were some people like, yeah, why the fuck when we stop by for a drink for a little bit and get a free T-shirt? Who cares? And it was fun. And I somehow, after being horribly hungover the night prior, and I think it was the tuna sandwich that saved my life, felt fantastic the next day. Enough to drink not one, not two. Well, it was your fault.
Yeah.
Because you were like, let's get some sunset lemonade.
Yeah, I was limeade. I started with the sunset limeade. Or sunset lemonade and something poolside limeade.
I had the sunset lemonade. You had the poolside limeade.
Yeah, sure. Damn right. They had tropical.
I shit you not, 10 of those.
Jesus.
10.
I have never seen either of you so drunk. It was phenomenal.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen you that drunk.
You were Greg Miller.
I mean, I was drunk. Don't get me wrong,
See,
but I feel like you see me drunker than that.
And this is how I know you were drunk, because to me, I was really drunk. You seemed on my level. Like, I was like, I can understand what you're saying. And then Kevin goes, Nick, you were so drunk yesterday. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, He's like, I didn't know you were drunk until you opened your mouth and was just a slur of words. I was like, buffet. Let's go to the buffet.
That's Vegas.
The
for you,
buffet,
baby.
the buffet is definitely where it caught up to me. I feel the entire pool time I was fine.
Down,
But when we went to the buffet, for sure, I was
walking towards the buffet. You were like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And then do you remember you ripped my sandal in half by accident?
No.
You sounds like a great.
Did I pick it up?
For some reason, you thought it'd be funny to step on my foot as I was walking.
That's hilarious. Good job, drunk Greg.
You also there was chopsticks along the way that you decided to pick up and start putting in people's ass cracks.
Yeah, that I remember. That I remember. Our people's ass cracks.
Okay. Yeah, not assault.
No, not.
No.
Maybe our people should hide their ass cracks, you know?
So then, of course, the next order of operations was, in fact, the buffet. I was like, we all need to get some food in us right now, or otherwise we're going to be useless later tonight.
Real quick, before we continue the story and go, I want to tell you how I loved that pool day. That pool was awesome.
Right?
That was so much fun. And that was like, seriously, I'm going to sunbathe and drink all day. Like, I'm not, even when you go on vacation.
From 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
We were out there.
Yeah.
We out there. And like the food was great. The company was great. We had all these great beers. I had all these great conversations with all of you. The three couples next to us of old people.
We had a blast with them.
The one who, in the very beginning, one of the women one of the couples was just like, it's the mom in me, but are you guys reapplying sunscreen? And so from then on, we called her mom, and she took photos for us. And then like
also got a shirt. We gave her a shirt.
Oh, of course they did. And I was bumming around talking to her and her other friend. They're like, I've been married 20 years, and she's been married 25, and I'm drunk, but I'm like, I'm in love with my wife, Genevieve Saint-Ange. I'm like, how do you make a marriage last? And without missing the beat, the woman who's been in 20 years, she's like, fuck them every day. And I was like, thank you. That is advice I'll pass on to my wife. I was like, what about you? And she's like, come to Vegas a lot with your friends. I'm like, all right, well.
There was an article about a woman who her and her husband had sex every day for a year, every single day for a year, and she was like, would never do it again.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Yeah,
There's probably a lot of chafing that happening.
It's just there's so many muscles that I have never flexed before are sore just listening to that.
Sure. But that was just a great thing, and I'm like, I would do this again outside of bachelor party.
That was one
or
of the
whatever.
things. I do remember a little bit of a blur the whole day, but I do remember you and I sitting in the pool talking, being like, how come we don't? Well, I mean, obviously because our schedules are fucking ridiculously packed, but like, wouldn't it be great if we brought all like our significant others back and did the same thing, but with just the couples, and just sat there, because my wife would love it. If you gave my wife her own private pool so people could see her elevated above them, and
that's
like
definitely what Dila would love.
She would fucking.
But that was the thing. I mean,
and
coming
poolside massages, which she would absolutely love.
Coming into this, like, it was the whole thing of I was super excited for it, and I wasn't excited for it for like, oh, bachelor party, bro. It was just the fact of like, and I had to stop like on the way to the airport and think, and it was like, oh, I'm excited because we travel all the time, but we never travel for fun.
Travel to hang out.
We always go to a work or convention or the shoot or whatever. So to go there and just be like, it's 2 days of fucking around. I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Shout out to me not getting sunburned.
Can't believe that
I believe it was James Burke who said we figured out the secret. Reapply every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes. I fucking did.
Mate, he was caked in
He
white.
looked like a kabuki girl.
It was all in his beard, and he's like, I don't care.
2 weeks ago,
he's carrying on normal conversations with people, like just caked in it, and he's just like, I don't care.
And I got sunburned to the point that I blistered all over my face.
My God,
so I was like,
so dangerous.
Fuck it, I am white on white here. Let's go. But no sunburn.
No, you did. You nailed it. You nailed it. A couple notable things that we saw. I don't know how nasty we want to get on.
I mean,
this. I'm going to tell the story.
Like we have to say the nastiest.
We have to say the nastiest thing, right? So obviously there were plenty of people who were showing skin at the party, right? And it's a top-optional pool, and people took advantage of that. We were all topless as well, joining in the fight, right? There were a group of girls in front of us who I think, what was their hashtag?
Hashtag Asian moms.
Asian moms.
Asian moms.
Very topless. Very much
hot Asian moms.
Hot Asian moms. That's what it was. Very topless, and one of them, I think,
had a cool party trick.
She had a party trick. So let's just put it this way: if you ordered coffee and they forgot your cream, she would be able to make that happen for you.
She's a wet nurse.
She was a wet nurse, yeah. So she at one point thought it was funny to start squirting down people with her lactating breast milk. And at
your
one by
breasts
one,
don't just lactate at will. Like, you gotta work on that.
I didn't see this, and this is my one regret from the whole trip.
My one regret
is that I wasn't around. But at one by one, people would be like, "You have no fucking idea what I just watched. I just saw this girl squirt breast milk into her friend's face," and I'm like, "How? Why does God hate me so much? Why can't I see this? I've been staring in this direction for like 3 hours and nothing happens. I don't get it."
Watching it was shocking.
I don't doubt it.
It shocked me.
And then the other thing that was notable was we were there for so long that we were able to see the plants, the people that you could tell were obviously hired to be there, like as the good-looking people that would get the topless party started. And so there would be like, you would see just most normal people walking in, normal, and then the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life, and then she would plunk down and then immediately take her top off, and you're like,
It worked though, because it started getting everyone feeling comfortable. Like, hey, I could do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the end of the day, everyone was topless.
Pretty much everyone was topless.
Pretty much.
That's so interesting that you would. I understand why you would hire an attractive woman to do that, but I feel like you would also hire like a mid-range attractive, because if it's too like intimidatingly good.
We thought the hot Asian moms might have been plants too, because they seemed to know everyone that worked there. So we're like, okay, maybe
they were
they're
undeniably plants.
I was gonna say, when you guys initially said that, I was like, no way. And then like their boyfriend showed up. I was like, no way. And then eventually they got up and they put on the shirts and went to a step and repeat. And I was like, that's a plant, all right.
Yeah.
They had a step and repeat. And I was like, that's a fucking real thing, right?
Makes sense.
Oh man, it was a spectacular weekend.
Yeah, we didn't do much out of it. Saturday night, I think that's the the only flaw with Saturday night is that we're so fucking tired from the pool day that none of us want to go.
No,
rage.
but that's the brilliance of this bachelor party. You planned it perfectly, where there was a resting period, and that resting period included a nap. Then we did make a fatal flaw of walking on the strip. We shouldn't have done that. But when we came back,
awful idea.
Everyone else except for Greg, because Greg was done.
I was gonna say my resting period was 12 hours in bed. I did the buffet and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap, like Nick said to. And I woke up at 12:30 at night and I was like, oh fuck this, and I went back to bed.
The rest of us went up to her suite. We were all just chilling, ordered some pizza, and watched Superbad.
Yeah, we did.
And Harry Potter.
And a lot of Harry Potter.
A lot of Harry Potter. There was a Harry Potter marathon.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was Kevin Coelho's bachelor party.
It was really good.
It was well done. I feel like we could rinse and repeat elements of that. Probably leave out the strip club and the guns and just go for the Cabana Day with our.
I'm telling you, man. I'll go once a month for the Cabana Day. That was awesome. So relaxing. Flying Friday, do that. Take off Sunday.
Yeah, we could do it. We can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Topic number 2. If we'll probably keep doing that, is my topic. And it might be short, but it's the whole reason you're here, Meg Turney.
Apparently, I didn't realize that was the whole reason I was here.
Well,
but
no,
all right.
we've been talking. We want to have more guests on, right?
Yeah.
And we need to start stop pinching the pennies and fly people out, right?
Fair.
And so you're on the list. We did a whole thing here of like, hey, there's this kind of funny survey. Who do you want to see on the show? People call you out. Great, that all works to our advantage.
Okay.
But I was talking to somebody, and I forget if it was one of the kind of funny guys or not. But I had this conversation, and it's about Instagram etiquette.
Yes.
We're like day walkers, right? We get to go in between worlds here. It's like that episode of Angel when he got the ring and could go into the sun. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Is it like
Fair.
Blade where we have all of their powers and none of their weaknesses?
Yes, exactly.
Great.
You
Great.
get to be the old guy.
I get to be
Whistler.
I want to be
Whistler.
Wesley Snipes. Why can't I be Wesley Snipes?
Because Tim is Wesley Snipes.
God damn it.
Wow.
And that's fair. If I'm being honest,
It's true.
Tim is clearly Wesley Snipes.
Kevin is the guy with the cornrows.
Who's
The
Triple
guy that
H?
ends up without a
Triple
hand.
H
at the
wasn't
end
in
of it.
Blade.
Blade 3?
He was in Blade.
We're talking about Blade 1 here. We're
He was in
keeping it
Blade
right.
2.
My question is this, Meg Turney.
30.
Yeah.
I follow many a cosplayer on the Instagram, yourself included.
Yep.
I'm friends with many of these people, yourself included.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know how to handle it when you or any of the other cosplays post photos that are just like, hey, I'm in my bra and panties, or I'm holding my breasts and I'm in my underwear and it's a mirror selfie and here's my butt. Because it's not that I'm offended. You know what I mean? I'm sure many out there.
Fuck yeah, you're not offended.
Greg Miller, this SJW, this
You're
cuck,
damn right
something
you're not
like this.
offended.
I just
You are a
don't
cuck,
know.
Greg.
I am a cuck. I don't know
Such a cuck.
what the protocol is of do I heart that? Do I not heart that? Is it creepy if I heart it? Is it weird that I feel that it's creepy that if I heart it? Because obviously I'm not like, but I'm like, oh, you look great. Oh, but then it's like, well, is it my right to say that? Should I say something? What if Gavin sees this?
Okay, let me just break it. Let me just
Break it
first
Break it down.
and
Please,
foremost.
please, thank you.
Lots of people post selfies in their underwear who aren't cosplayers, and lots of cosplayers cosplay without selfies in their underwear. Want to make sure those are not mutually
point, good
exclusive.
point.
But 100,000 people are gonna like that photo.
Sure.
I don't see whether or not you like it. Like I'm
I
not
see it,
gonna
though.
see.
But you might.
Here's- Yeah.
And
Oh,
if
and yeah, you do see that.
But
I
that's
like
the
it.
thing.
I
Everyone
think
who
you're-
follows you sees who else liked it.
but you get like one. If like
You get, like, two names you know that
one
you
or
follow.
two names.
It's always
It's
Kevin.
always Greg.
That's actually a great point because for me it's always Kevin. For you it's always me.
Always Greg.
So it's not on my end. It's not weird.
Okay.
And also, I don't feel like it's creepy. Like if Tim, here's where if Tim hearted it, great. If Tim were like, yeah, baby, dim ass cheeks,
I need to delete a
that's
couple
where it would,
things. Sorry.
that's where it would get weird.
How do you spell
If it were
dim?
like DEM.
Yeah,
no apostrophe.
If it were like a weird comment, that would be
Okay,
like,
okay.
all right, but like looking great. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Like, oh, all that
'Cause
running's paying off.
Is that what you're putting them
Totally
up
fine.
for? The underwear selfie mirror things of like, hey, like I'm proud of my progress or
Right.
Okay,
I mean, it's not to get your response, but also
Sure.
to be like, hey, I look good today.
Yeah.
Check this shit out.
Okay.
Look what I saw.
Then also the point is the likes, right? So I feel like by me liking it,
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say.
it's supporting. It's not like I don't think it's a creepy thing at all.
I hear
It's
you.
like,
I just don't-
I'm proud of you doing what you're doing.
I'm just saying I don't want to send mixed signals. Not to and I'm not talking just to
Sure.
you.
No, totally.
I can say whatever I fucking want to Meg Turney.
Absolutely.
She can roll with the
Dim
punches.
ass cheeks.
Dim ass cheeks. I'm saying that on everything.
Now you have to.
From now on, whenever
it's me eating dim
exactly.
ass cheeks.
As long as it's not literally your ass cheeks, I'm gonna call it on every
post.
post.
Made that
It's
just
not
says dim
my
ass cheeks.
You're not gonna say it.
I feel you
No.
though. Like there's a public perception, right?
Right.
How is that going to be perceived?
And see, that's a great point. Kevin, I'm diming you out, but don't feel bad about it. Kevin liked somebody's racy photo on Instagram, and then it got screen capped and put on Reddit, right?
It was
Okay, use your microphone or it doesn't matter. But it was somebody, like, you put it up there, and it got screen capped because somebody who follows Kevin and follows that person saw
Right.
Kevin, like, you big Kev dog or whatever on Reddit. What do you got
one
from
of our
Kevin?
fans that we know, his girlfriend wears a lot of kind of funny stuff, and I
Yeah.
started following her. She
Oh,
also
yeah,
is
yeah,
very
yeah.
attractive, and everyone that I follow, I like 95% of your guys' photos.
Oh
Hell yeah,
wow,
you do.
you're
Because
like a
of the
bit of a
support
like
thing.
whore.
Well, I mean, I don't
Fair.
follow. I follow like 120 people, and of those 120, maybe 30 are active, like
Okay,
like every day
okay.
active. And yeah, I go through the photos, and yeah, I guess I'm a like whore.
No.
He's just slowly
Put it together
realizing
at the
this.
end there.
like horror.
Now this is the next, and this is again maybe my own lens on the situation, is the fact that I follow a whole bunch of people on Instagram, of course, and I scroll through And I'm deciding, you know.
Oh, I'm very selective
I'm not just
with
throwing
my
out hearts.
Ooh, I'm selective.
And that's the thing, where if it's like a badly framed photo of the dog, you don't get a like.
Yeah,
if
that's
the
right.
dog's not up to something interesting.
It's not an automatic like.
Yeah. So then, but then it is that thing of me of like, am I liking Megan or underwear for the right reasons when I didn't like this dog?
For the right reasons.
I
Bachelor.
think about it 140% less than that. And then there you're good right there. You think about it just that much less.
Sure.
You see something you think looks good, give it a little double tap.
Yeah, double tap and
Everything's
favorites,
good.
man. I'll throw those things out like
I
without
give people
any
likes
regard.
on
Twitter?
tweets like that. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's
somebody
like-
responds
Yeah.
to me, it's kind of almost like, oh, I've seen that. Give it a
Exactly.
little heart.
Twitter is a different
Give it
game.
a little
Twitter's
heart.
all about the hearts. Yeah, of
I
course.
feel like Instagram is it's the
Yep,
same thing.
Same thing for me.
But see, I'm with Greg on this. Where like I see your perspective on this, right? Because as the probably over-sexualized member, like the most over-sexualized member of Kind of Funny, I feel like I'm.
You mean like people are over-sexualizing you? Like they're looking at you and doing
No,
like,
like
Nick dim ass cheeks.
I mean, there better be one or two of you out there that are fucking beating into this right here. I put a lot of effort into this too, once a week.
Cool Greg, did he not want to touch him? Thanks, Andy.
No, but as a person who makes a lot of sexual jokes and things like that, and I operate on that level, like I'm always hypersensitive to not being creepy unless that's the shtick, right? And so I kind of feel you where I'm like, I am a little bit like, I don't know, is it weird that I think about that? Like I'm like, if I like this pic, go ahead, get in there.
Cool Greg's feeling him up, yeah.
If I like
How'd
this
that feel,
picture-
Cool Greg?
Oh, it's great.
It was the great, he said.
Thanks,
Sorry, it was
boss.
great, yeah.
You know, if I like this picture of this person who clearly is not one of my friends, what is that saying about me to the rest of the community? And should I care about that? And unfortunately, as a guy on the internet, a straight white male, you have to care about that, right? Because there are people out there that are like, well, is he creepy? Is he creepy? Is he like? I feel like you're constantly like, there's a sniper rifle scope on you. Like, when's he gonna be creepy? When's he gonna be creepy?
Yeah,
Fuck him.
but
Let's get him, right?
here's
Let's
my
get
thing,
it. Let's
right?
go jump on it. Let's
Like-
pounce, everyone, pounce.
As a woman on the internet who has sexual imagery everywhere, your like or maybe your comment of like looking good or whatever it is, that's the drop
least
in the
creepiest
tiniest
thing.
bucket of the creep shit I get on
but
a daily basis.
I'm not worried about you. Like, I know you. We're friends. If I said
Right.
something that you thought was actually legitimately creepy, I would expect to hear about it.
Sure.
Like, toot sweet. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is gross.
I've
Like, this
deleted
is-
your comment
Yeah.
because how dare you?
You're a fucking son of a bitch. Like, let's talk this out. I'm not worried about you. You know me. You know that, like,
But I'm just
there's
saying, you have
boundary.
to go so far out of what you would reasonably do. It'd have to be like, open them lab, girl. I'm ready to eat. You know what I mean? Like, it's that constantly.
So you get that a lot.
I get that a lot.
That is.
So that's what I'm saying. It's so far out of the realm of what you could possibly come up with.
I will
as
never
a
forget
reasonable
the
human
first
being.
time
That's
I
fair, that's
saw
fair.
a comment on a picture of a girl that said, I would suck a fart out of that ass.
Oh,
and I'm
that,
like,
yeah.
who the fuck thought of that? Because
Yeah.
that is crazy.
The old, like, I drag my balls across
Yeah.
100
It's-
miles of broken glass to hear you fart
But now
through a
that worked.
walkie-talkie.
That worked for Gavin and you. Isn't that how he kicked it off?
So basically, you saw a picture of Gavin, and you're like, that ass. I would get that fuck.
Damn
out.
ass
That
cheese.
I
is
actually
that
saw a
ass.
video of him vomiting up milk and was like, want to be a part of that for sure.
Yeah,
That is actually
I want to
how.
procreate with this man
Yes.
one day and make
Yes.
little tiny mini English muffins.
Yes, please.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably being overly sensitive
Yeah.
to it. And I think it's probably better to be overly sensitive than not
Sure,
sensitive enough.
sure.
And that's where I'm coming from. Like, I've never in my life thought it was appropriate to leave a lewd comment on anything, let alone my friends' like Instagram pages. But I do wonder. I'm like, at some point, I see a picture of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you look great, and it's a sexy picture, and I'm like, is it weird to me that I'm second guessing letting Meg know that I think she's attractive in this picture? It's weird. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's a weird
I
gray
get
area
it.
for me.
We talked about how we kind of like agonize over choice. So
yeah,
you've
decision
got to
paralysis for sure. For
Decision
sure.
paralysis. So I understand that, but I'm just saying that you're safe. You're safer than you think.
like,
all of
double
you.
tap what you want to double
Because
tap.
I'm with you. Because this actually just triggered a good story in my head.
Okay.
Not a good story at all, but it's something similar where in Vegas, maybe at SFO, doesn't matter. Somebody, whether it be a gate agent or a clerk or something, helped me, and she was transgender, and she was beautiful. And I thought about saying that, but then I'm like, I don't tell random people ever they're beautiful because
right,
that's
right.
a shitty thing to do.
Right.
Just like if I didn't know you and I was like, oh, I just want to stop you. You're really pretty, and it's like I keep going.
Right.
I'm like, that feels weird, and so then it's weird to say it even because that transgender, you're beautiful. I don't because then she's just mad as a woman. It's just like I don't know.
Right.
I think you're thinking about a little too much because I have people like this sounds so shitty and full of myself, but I'm hoping
I get
to
stopped
reassure
every
you.
day, and I'm told I'm beautiful.
People do like stop me to say like, just want to say you have such a beautiful smile, and instead of being like, ew, shut
Yeah.
up. I'm like, thank you. Because it's not someone leaning out of a car window going,
Whistling.
like,
All right.
hey, ma. And I'm like, no, not going to happen. Or, you know, if that's one of the reasons I refuse to walk around in cosplay costumes in downtown LA ever, is because it's just shouting. But if someone's like, hey, I just want to say, I love your makeup today. Or like, oh, that's a really nice shirt. It's just like, thank you.
Okay,
See, I feel like there's a difference there between, like, for one, there's a couple things to unpack there. One is that if it's people who aren't in the public realm, that's the difference between them and people like us, who I think we hold a responsibility, or at least hold ourselves to a responsibility of like having some level of character and showing people how to act properly, right?
Sure.
Like I don't necessarily consider myself like a thought leader in any way, shape, or form, but I'd like to believe that I'm putting out a good example of like, hey, this, you know, I treat my wife well, like I treat my friends well, I try to be the best human being I can be at any given time, and so you do have to scrutinize those decisions a little bit more
100%.
than you would of
Because
like,
you could
what does this say to other
something
people?
with an intent, and
Sure.
it doesn't matter what your intent is, it's how it's perceived.
Right.
That's
I
why
totally
I think
understand
that the likes are good, because there's not words there. Like, I support sexuality, period.
Sure.
So to me, liking these things, I'm just like, yeah, let's promote the fact that this is okay. This isn't something that we need to not like actually with the use of the word. You know?
Sure,
So it's
sure.
like, I'm not going to like leave comments, because I feel like that is where words can get really twisted and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, when people are screenshotting Kevin and being like, oh, look, like, good job, whatever, it's like, man,
see,
you're
that's
just not comfortable with sexuality. Like, that's their bad.
Or in real, you're trying to take down someone that, you know, I mean, that's a shitty thing
Can't
to
take
do,
Kevin
by the way.
down.
You can't take Kevin down. I've tried before. He'll fuck me up. But that example right there is like, that's kind of that's a negative thing, right? Of someone going, hey man, you do you, but they're calling you out for something that they view as like,
Well,
creepy
they're
or
either
weird.
calling you out. I think it's more calling the picture out. It's more being like, hey, this is something that you're not supposed to be comfortable liking.
Right, exactly. Or that this is something we feel like, what it really is it's like, hey, this is something I feel like you should be maybe getting in trouble for, and like maybe I'm not allowed to do it either. And again, it comes from a weird, fucked up, negative place of like judgment and insecurity, and that's just like, that's where I get into that thought process in my brain, that oversensitivity of going like, I don't even want to fucking deal with that. Like, so I'm just not going to like my friend's picture who is you know, it looks great, but I'm just going to stay the fuck away from it. You know, I'm just not going to do it. Which is, it's also weird though that
Like
you're right.
away.
Twitter is, I think, a little bit, for some reason I feel like Twitter is less visible than Instagram, but in reality, I mean, I guess it's because it tells you the people that have liked the picture that you follow.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're
Yeah.
all following the same people or whatever.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Kevin? Kevin walked in here, ready to start a fight. Just looking at a beautiful Adonis over there. Don't worry about it. Walking in here with
One
his
way to put
long
it.
hair. You know what I mean?
Many different ways.
So staying on this Instagram
Sure.
kick here, but more just talking about being, I guess, photogenic and that being your career. What's your life like, Meg Turney?
Oh, that's such a loaded question.
I know, right?
Can I answer that question for
Yes,
you?
please.
I imagine you get up and then servants just float you over to a camera. They take a picture of you, and then you have nothing else to do for the rest of the day. Is that accurate?
Really? Let me tell you that it's if there's an underwear selfie like in the morning time, it's because I've just peed and I haven't eaten yet. So
Great.
you gotta get
Dehydrate
in.
the shit
That
out of
is when
yourself.
you get in a good grade A photo. If you're
yeah.
looking good that day, if you're looking all right that day, you feel like you're looking pretty good. You gotta snap that photo. You're gonna need it for later.
I love that underwear selfies are just a thing for you. That like that's just part of your day. That's something you're thinking about. That's something that's just it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like you just reference it like we get coffee, and it's fucking awesome because there's such an art to it. And I want to give you
People
a
do
shout
not
out.
realize you gotta work on the lighting.
No, the
you gotta make sure your
lighting is
ab
key,
line looks good. The
but
time of day.
The most pro maneuver that I think I learned from you is the mirror, like getting the thing so you're getting everything in the shot.
Oh yeah, getting the butt cheek by going for the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
That is
then
a God
you want to
bless.
take it to the next level. You flip the camera around so you can't really see what you're taking a photo of because it's a higher definition camera on the
Of
back.
course.
So
See,
you want to
that's
get the higher
super
definition
pro.
ass.
I could never
That
do
4K
that.
ass.
4K ass.
Yeah.
I'm just like inspired that how confident you are, because there is not a certain set of circumstances that I would be like, I'm going to take a picture of myself in my underwear right now. It just, there's no
But
way.
it's
not going to happen.
honestly a lot of it.
Granted,
it's
you
so
look vastly
funny.
better than I'll ever look, but I think to myself,
very
I'm like,
kind.
Jackman
my
off.
biggest. I know this is I have anxiety about this. I'm going to Jackman off. We'll talk about that later. It's a fitness competition where I had to look like Hugh Jackman by January 6th. Not a big
Right.
deal. But one of the
Yes.
biggest anxiety-inducing. It's not even the 5th. I'm sorry, I forgot our anniversary. I'm sorry, baby.
Get out of here.
Baby.
We don't even
No,
mean
baby,
anything.
I won't do it again.
Kevin, pack our bags.
But one of the most anxiety-inducing things about this is that at some point I might have to take my shirt off to actually show people my progress.
And
I
I'll
don't
tell
know if
you
I'm
what,
comfortable with this.
I was really proud of you. And I know I was proud that you took your shirt off at the cabana. Because I know, granted, you're with your friends, but you're in public too, and I know how that's like one of your things that you're just not comfortable with.
Not comfortable with it.
You're looking good too.
Thank you.
Looking
I appreciate
real
that.
good.
The 15 limeades really did help, though. I was like, I don't give a fuck about it. Like at one point, I think I like, you know when you get that drunk that you teleport. You're like, how did I get into the bathroom? I just kept winding up in the bathroom. I'm like, why am I still peeing?
What a great fucking quote. I'm tweeting that right now,
into
Nick.
the bathroom.
There you
No, a lot of I will say that a lot of it. First of all, you're seeing a final draft, right? Like
Sure.
you're seeing
You didn't see the 50 pictures that
You're
came
seeing
before.
the 20 of the 20. This is the one that looked
50,
good.
I apologize,
But
20.
no worries. But you're also like, there's so many tricks to it, right? Like Jessica Negri is actually someone who I watch what she does, and we actually have like sat down and been like, oh my god, I watch what you do, and I did your leg, you did this, and it looks so good. And she's like, oh my god, I saw that you did your arm this way, and now I do that because it looks so good. So much of it is you got to stand. Is your weight in the back? It's got to be on the back foot because then your front foot is going to look more toned because it doesn't have any actually weight on it. And you got to make sure that you're flat to the
Interesting.
camera. And if it feels good, you're not doing it right. So like, are you twisted enough? That's the nice thing about underwear selfies is it's just kind of like, oh, I'm on my toes, and that looks fine. But at a photo shoot, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's actual work to look like. There's 100 photos where you can see all the cellulite, and then there's 5 where you can't, and those are the ones you see.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, you see this all the time, right? You'll see people posing on red carpets and things like that, and there is a way to stand.
There is all sorts of different ways to see it. You
Yeah.
have to think. You have to think about everything.
Like you'll see when people don't, like more often than not, you don't see a lot of people standing like directly in front.
No,
Like they'll
'cause
do
you're
the
gonna look very
3/4
aligned. You
turn.
wanna-
They'll do
yep.
that. They'll do the
You're
Arnold
gonna look a
Schwarzenegger
little
like.
bit.
You
You want to
know,
have your
those
hands
motherfuckers.
up. You want to put your
Yeah.
like the front leg should be the one that's bent as opposed to the back leg.
See, there's all
Always.
sorts of- there's
sorts
tricks
of
of the
things.
trade.
But that's why the underwear selfie you got to be like we thankfully have the couch, our big love sack couch.
Mm-hmm.
If you just barely perch the tip of your ass on it, I look like 10 inches taller
Wow.
somehow. I look so
I'll
much
have to start
taller
doing that.
just putting my ass just a little bit on the couch makes my legs look super lean and long and awesome. So there's little tricks that you learn.
Pro maneuvers.
How long you been doing this?
You're like MLG.
Been doing I know, right?
Cosplay, modeling,
Underwear.
stuff
well,
like
I've
that.
been doing cosplay for 16 years.
Jeez.
But like the underwear modeling, I started when I was at SourceFed.
Yeah.
So, and I'd been at SourceFed for over a year almost. So.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's been not that long in my career that I've been doing it.
How long do you think it was before you got like super comfortable and had like a good bag of tricks?
Oh, a long time. And actually, my first shoot, I did with a photographer who it was his first shoot too. It was his first boudoir shoot, which was great because it was like it was really good because it was like I'm going to retain all the rights to these images. you can't put them somewhere. And also, we learned together. Oh, this looks weird. I wonder why this looks weird. Oh, you should do this or that or the other thing. So it's definitely a long. And also working with Me and My Place. I did a Me and My Place shoot. He's really good at great. Stand on your toes, lean back a little more, put some more weight in your left hip, like that kind of stuff. So he's worked with so many models. He taught me a lot as well.
Next question for those.
Yes, please.
When you're doing these Me and My Place shoots, because
Yes.
there's the shoots and then there's the videos and stuff like that.
Me and My Place doesn't do video.
Who am I thinking
Not
of?
for
There's
me.
somebody I've seen.
Maybe the
videos-
Chive?
Talking about Chive?
Chive,
Chive.
that would be it or whatever.
Sure.
I'm combining them, but either way, stick with me. Do you, since there are video cameras rolling on some of them or whatever, but you're doing these like lingerie or photo, underwear shoots, do you worry about like protecting yourself at all times, or is it you're on a sets or whatever?
So a lot of times with, especially with the Chive, they want you to look good,
Yeah.
so they're gonna make sure that they show the footage of you looking your best. Same with like when we shot with Playboy, they're the same way. So they're gonna use, even if they get video of like, oh man, that's cellulite, they're gonna cut that,
Okay.
because they want to make sure you look your best as well.
Sure.
But also like the Chive and Playboy and things like that, they're like, oh, you're not showing nip in this shoot, so if it happens to happen, we're not going to show that because you get to use it once. There's Meg Turney's nip, but then I'm going to tell every single person you want to work with, don't work with them. I told them not to show that, and they showed that.
Gotcha.
So like, you burn that bridge, and I think a lot of people are very smart in that it's not worth burning the bridge.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, and as you've done it more and more, and as you come up in this industry, you get final photo approval and things like that as well. So
Yeah.
you can say like number 6 has got to go. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
give Tim no approval. Over
No
this.
approval.
Gotta have photo approval. You gotta have photo. It's your likeness.
I just give my
baby.
approval no matter what. I'm down.
He's got that little rubber
Yeah,
stamp.
we're at a
approval.
place where we're just happy people want to take pictures of us.
Yeah, just like, hey, okay.
There, if you
cool.
Google my name, image search my name, I look completely stupid in 90% of the video. Like I'm like, look at the wrong fucking part of the camera because there's always like 3 cameras. I'm like, is that an Android? No, that's picture's done. It's taken. It's
That's
done.
fair.
Yeah.
So then, right now, how do you describe yourself? Because you're Patreon.com/Meg Turney.
Yep.
is cosplay.
Yep.
But
it's also boudoir modeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are you, how do you describe yourself when you meet somebody you know? And you do YouTube as well. And you do Twitch.
I'm a YouTuber, Twitch partner, cosplayer, and boudoir model.
Okay.
Those are the 4 ways that I say what I am.
And when you meet somebody just on the, in your new neighborhood, how do you describe yourself?
YouTuber. Nobody knows what Twitch is that like I meet in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Boudoir model sounds like something there, like I don't know, Dita Von Teese or something.
Sure.
And nobody knows what cosplay is. So YouTuber is much easier.
I feel like I do that too sometimes too, because I'm like, people are like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, we're YouTubers.
Yeah.
Because I think that's an all-encompassing term that says
I make video
you don't know what a
content.
YouTuber does anyway.
Yep.
So this is just, I'm an online person that does stuff online, right?
Like I'm an influencer. What's that? I'm just a YouTuber.
Don't even worry about it.
We don't need any follow-up questions here. You know, YouTuber, and we'll move on.
Like I'll go YouTuber, and then when I see the glazed over look, I'll be like podcaster, and they'll be like, oh, I've heard of podcasting. I have an iPhone.
That's
and I'm
nice.
like, great.
You've
and that's
nailed it.
That's usually where the conversation stops. I'm like, go talk to my mom. She thinks I make Halo.
My next question, Meg Turney,
Yes.
because now it's just become all about you.
I'm so excited.
Which I've never talked to you about, which I appreciate. What is like? I don't want this to be an insulting question. What's like long-term strategy for
you can't
the
be
Meg
hot
Turney
forever.
brand? Yeah, right. I mean, that's.
Totally.
I mean, I'm
5-year
fading
plan?
away every day, right? But I mean, like, is that why?
That implies that at one point.
But yeah, like, is it you want to one day go more towards YouTube and vlogging? And, I mean, you already do that stuff though, so it's weird.
Right. So I do try and keep like, you know, a hand in my YouTube channel and to Twitch and things like that. But I have a degree in history. Like this was never supposed to be a long-term thing for me. So I've got the I've got the
Sat in that same chair.
I've got the, you know, like a backup plan of sorts. But I also like before when I was working at DeviantArt.
Tim, rotate the fan.
Fan.
Fan's just shooting at the wall. That's not helping anybody.
When I worked at DeviantArt, I had a pillow
worked at
business.
DeviantArt?
Yeah, I did. That was
That's
my first
super
job.
cool.
I was in marketing. I had a pillow business on Etsy.
Oh,
So
nice.
I probably would make an Etsy shop or something like that. I think the plan is to, for me, like the modeling stuff has always just been a hobby and it's fun and it goes on for as long as it goes on and then nobody wants to see it anymore, then that's cool too. I'll
Sure.
just do something else.
That's Gavin's problem.
Yeah. Oh God, nobody's wanted to see that for a long time. He's clearly not killing it. You know?
Yeah, no. You've been carrying that dead weight for a long time.
Yeah,
is what I-
gosh.
Before we move on, I want to give another shout out. Shout out to the Avengers of this whole scene.
Oh, God,
with
you're right.
you, Jessica Negri, and Darshell. Just straight
It's like
killing
the
it
fucking,
together.
the
love
dynamic trio.
We're so excited we did so the Overwatch thing came out that we did like 70s roller skatey versions.
Oh, yeah.
Two of
Saw
me and
those.
Darshell did two of the Overwatch heroes and everyone was like, there's fucking shoot that. No, it's not. That was like a shoot we did the day before. We did a big shoot. We haven't announced what it is. It's coming out in September. It was really fun. It was outfits that we like on a whim. Jessica was like, can you put this together? We all just put outfits together and shot in like a ditch, like a graffiti ditch, and it was really like gritty and really, really fun.
Okay.
So,
When's that coming up?
That comes up at the beginning of September.
Nice.
So there's video and photo and all that stuff. So it was really, really fun. We don't get to collab enough. And actually, Jess and I have a week set aside in September where we're just going to build together. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So like we really were like, man, we should really make time for one another. So hopefully it happens. Yeah.
When you say build, you mean build like cosplay outfits?
Yeah, like armor.
Okay,
They're
cool.
also just gonna build a house for no reason.
Yeah.
Goes, well, I'm just, you know,
Amish.
I don't know.
No. She's
We're
like
Amish.
she's like an armor building fiend, and so like I think our talents combined could build something really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Meg, what's your topic?
My topic is something that's been so long in the making. Something I'm so ready to get into.
Decades in the making.
Decades in the making.
Decades in the making.
We are going to do the definitive ranking of the Fast and the Furious films. I think everybody brought a list.
Where is it?
We've talked about this on Twitter for probably since Fast and Furious 5
Okay.
that we've been
I'm
talking
sorry.
about doing this.
There it
There
is.
we go. Is that
This
a ham
is-
horn app?
Yeah, it is.
Love the ham horn. Shout out to the ham
Man,
horn.
Mad Decent doesn't work anymore, so now I had to get ham horn.
There you go.
Now, what I'd like to bring to the table
Yes. Okay.
before we begin, because I'm clearly the least of the Fast and Furious fans here, even though Nick apparently makes it out like I've never watched them, even though I did an entire marathon of all of them for second viewings or third viewings sometimes. But Nick, doesn't care. What I want to do is bring up a comment
Okay.
from the one and only reddit.com/r/kindafunny.
Right.
Okay.
In which Hell Teacher Loki wrote in and said, they are doing the ranking wrong every time. After that Marvel ranking, I thought, okay, this isn't how they're supposed to do it, but whatever. At least Andy made a respectable list I can get behind. But They did a ranking again with the Tarantino movies, and oh boy, I'm just so pissed. Every ranking talk is them talking about their personal list, followed by variations of, yeah, no, you're crazy, or that's a good list, from someone in the group, and then moves on to the next person's list. This way of ranking is so stale. It doesn't promote discussion between these guys enough. Well, gentlemen and Joey Noel, why not create a list that represents Kind of Funny as a whole? Each one writes down their list in order, get the sum of each item, arrange them from most to least, discuss in groups of 5, rearrange it for ties, and then he does the little shrug emoji.
Okay.
It's complicated.
I think
Math.
first of all, take a step back, sir. Let's just take a breath. Second, we all wrote our fucking list, right? All right, so
Right.
we're each going to present our list, I think, with a lot of arguing, and then we make a definitive list, do we not?
Now we
He's
did
making
not.
some
we,
solid
he
points,
made some solid
though,
points. Here's
based
the
on
thing.
how this has went down in the past.
There are some good points. We did not discuss the Tarantino movies enough. We did. There was some debate in the Tarantino discussion, but I feel like we could have. I could talk for 2 hours about which movie I like better, Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction, and why. It's clearly Pulp Fiction, and I could talk to you about that later if you want. I get that. The thought of doing the official list, I did not think was mathematically possible. But what he's saying, that seems like it matters. Like I didn't think, okay, we're gonna average all our lists together.
Dude,
For
no,
Marvel
fuck
movies,
that
there are like
stuff.
18 movies.
I'm
We're
not
not
down
gonna
with that.
fucking do
Yeah.
that.
It's a discussion between us
It's a
to
discussion.
figure it out.
And I feel like we're gonna be close on the same page.
we're
I've gotten
definitely
little
gonna be
hints,
close.
little subtle hints. We don't know each other's lists.
Right.
I feel like Tim, we are gonna go to war.
I don't think so.
Really?
No,
Okay.
no.
I feel like we're gonna have some.
I
Can we
think
get to the
we're-
list?
Andy Cortez! I need Andy Cortez and a dry erase marker. They're over there. And a chair for Andy Cortez
Do
back
we
here.
need
Before
Oh,
we
we
do
got
this,
that.
I want to go through the movies and give people a refresher of what the movies are.
One
so
sentence.
Nick's list doesn't fuck up.
One sentence.
Why do you think?
Because you don't remember what the
only
movies are.
reason
You wanna
the
bring
only
another
reason my list
chair, you can
fucks
put
up
it here.
Is because there's 8 movies and my feeble old brain can only keep 4
And
of them
that's-
in my
I'm here
brain.
to help, Nick.
So
Yeah.
I've written the list down.
Okay.
Now this is my definitive
Yeah, you
list.
did list.
Hide your list. Hide that list.
But you can't. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
I like how he's like, you don't, it clearly numbers in order. He's like, you can't decipher
I was
this.
like, you can't see
know
that
which
far.
one is one?
I was like, whatever for 8 eyes.
All right. So should we go back and forth? You think?
Andy, have you been
Sure.
paying attention?
Sure,
We're
sure,
ranking
sure.
these,
Just
so
the
you need to
key
write all of them down
set
and then give
pieces,
them
what's
points.
important
All
about
right.
the movies.
All right. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Nick.
I'm listening.
Doesn't
Fasten
look
it-
like you're listening.
I'm texting my brother because
you're
That's
not
not
listening.
listening. That's the opposite of
This is
listening.
for you, Nick.
unlike most
Nick.
people, can do 2 things at once. That's true. I can't. You're right. I'll put my phone down. Let's put my phone down. Go ahead.
Nick. Fast and Furious 1. Paul Walker's a cop. Vin Diesel's a thief. Suddenly he loves thieves. He
Right.
saves him.
We don't
Done.
need to, not plot.
Not plot?
What movie it is. Like,
What do you mean?
So
That is
that's
the
the first
plot.
one. It's
I like
it's
the idea-
first one. It's in L.A. and
They're going after the guys that steal the DVD.
Cool.
I like what
There was a ring of-
I bring to the
of
table
civics.
that Tim Getty shuts up and lets Meg do it her way, because I think that'll help the audience.
Thank you.
Sure, I
like
support
that. I like that. I
too.
like
You're out of order, Gettys.
All right.
Fast
Okay.
and Furious 2. Paul Walker, Tyrese.
Miami.
They hungry.
Miami.
Right.
They want hungry. Ava Mendez, cop.
Right.
They jump onto a pontoon boat, onto a what are those things called?
boat.
Yacht.
I don't-
A
Yes.
yacht.
They go into a swanky club that consists of just a curtain and a
Yes.
table. Remember that?
And they
There was
watch a
that
guy with a
scene. That
rat.
was the
Yeah, we're
budget.
gonna get to that. All right.
Yeah.
Number 3, best film, Tokyo Drift.
Right.
I wonder. Yeah, we're even singing the song.
First
today.
movie directed by Justin Lin. The turning point for the series.
That's right.
Someone
We
say the
all
most
know.
important of the film. Maybe not the best,
Well,
but the most important of the film.
Introduced
Most
Han,
That's
the
right.
most critical character to the entire
The most
franchise.
likable character in the whole franchise.
Very real.
Wait, what
Wow,
about Wonder
like a
Woman?
bitch.
I'm sorry, Gal Gadot is really great. Love her.
And I love that
Not
they're together.
The
She's
not
most
Han.
right. She's not Han.
Overpowered.
Don't
She's
send
not
a
Han.
man to
You
do a
think so?
woman's
I was
job.
just gonna say
Boom,
that.
the beat drops. Ass.
I'm not really into the fact. I'm not really, Damas cheeks. I'm not really into the fact that Han has so many women in Tokyo Drift, but that's okay because it was all retconned his love interest, so I'm okay with it. That's
Well,
fine.
he was trying to get over it.
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
right, but he never
distractions.
did.
He never did, and we know
Right.
he never did.
Can't
Sorry.
get over Giselle.
Number 4, the low point of this franchise.
Okay. This is where we might
Mexico,
start.
Braga,
Braga.
is the bad
He's
guy.
the bad guy. Introduced the key villain.
But
for-
introduced Gal
and
Gadot.
Letty. Yes, it did.
in a weird way, though.
And she's got a
But she
like a
was sup-
sidekick, an important part of that.
That's
like
true.
the phone, not a
Right.
person.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
But what's important about 4 is that it
Letty.
brought back the original
Yep.
cast,
Right.
and Michelle Rodriguez's character Letty
That's right.
dies.
Dies.
Right.
Very key.
Right.
And it featured the worst CG scene in movie history.
How dare you? He's Sherlock Holmes,
driving
sir.
through. Oh, I'm not even talking about that.
I thought you meant the part where he just, for whatever reason, can
he sees
feel
the tire
fucking
tracks
road.
and he sees how she
Yeah.
This is how it happened. Yeah.
It's basically what is that heavy rain moment?
Yes.
of the whole
Jason?
series.
But I'm talking about the mountain final chase scene through the mountain where it's like
through the cave or
this
whatever.
looks like a PS1 game.
Though to be fair,
Wait, that's the cave one?
There
That's
is
the cave one.
in Tokyo Drift when they're drifting the mountains also looks really bad.
That's
and
very
at one
bad.
point a car disappears. They have one less car at the end of the scene. They
don't
do at
need
the
it.
beginning of the
That
scene. That's
car
okay.
went off the
That's
edge.
okay.
They weren't
good.
drifting Tokyo
Drift, they're trying to
enough.
learn.
Fast Five, The Rock joins the franchise. There's a
Things
heist
get
at the
real.
end. You
This-
think they're not going to be found out? Boom, all the money there.
There you go.
Yep.
And here's the deal about 5 that everyone needs to understand. As good as 3 was, and for what 3 did to the series, The Rock did even better.
The Rock
The
made
Rock
changed
took it up.
But that's
he
the thing.
changed
3,
it.
4, and 5 in that order were necessary because 3 was like, look, this franchise can be good.
Yep.
4 was like, we
gotta
need
bring 'em
the
back
filler.
somehow.
We got to
We gotta bring
figure
'em
out
back
a way
somehow.
to get the plot out of the way and get everyone back so that we can have the majestic thing
That's
that is
right.
5.
Now,
That's right.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but I'm going to go off on it. When The Rock was in that movie, I've seen The Rock in movies prior, but for whatever reason, he showed up in that movie with a good 75 pounds more of muscle on him, and he was just sweating the entire
That's
time.
right.
And every line
And
he
it was
said was the most Rock thing
so fucking rockadocious. Remember they had that? That's the one where they have the chase scene through like the barrio of Brazil, right?
That's
where
how it
like,
opens, yeah.
They're like
Brazil!
Well, actually, no. So a key thing,
Yeah.
Fast 4 ends with Fast and Furious as it's known.
Yes.
Dropping the does, no does there. It ends with Vin Diesel, Dominic Toretto, be in a bus on the way to jail because he got arrested, right?
You hear
But
the
then
engines.
5 immediately starts off with
Breaks
them
him out of
busting
the
him out
bus.
with the fucking coolest scene of all time.
Yeah, Natch.
Oh,
They're going to
shout
the-
out
Oh,
to
that's
that.
right. That was the one where it's like he runs on the thing, right? Up the is that one? Which one was the one Paul Walker runs up the side of the
Yes.
the truck as it's going off and like runs over and grabs?
Isn't that
That's
6?
7.
Or 7?
That is
That's
7.
seven?
the
That's
beginning of
7,
7?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That is 7.
Which one was the
It
breakout
is
scene for
definitely
the
7.
Oh shit! Now I'm getting confused with when they
Yep.
broke
That's what I'm
them
saying.
out.
That's why we're doing
Yep,
this, Nick.
yep.
We're trying to help you here.
Should I bring down the cassette tapes
the-
too?
Oh, yes,
The
yes, yes, we
VHS
should.
boxes?
We
I'm on
should.
it. I'm on it.
Okay, good.
Andy,
And
But the other key thing about 5 is the one where The Rock was introduced, and he at one point tells the team of SWAT people, whatever you do not let them get in the cars.
That's right. Number 5, also the first time we see a tank. Gonna be important in the franchise.
also the first time we see a bank vault being spun around physically and possibly, and that's when they all turned into superheroes. By the way, 5 was the one where they turned into like superheroes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, 6,
Oh, no,
is
6
where
was the
6
one
is one where he does the
where he
Superman
dives
leap.
off the thing. That's
okay,
right.
6 is Letty's back. She
Yeah.
doesn't remember
Why not?
what's
Shout
going
out
on.
to Six.
Gang on gang warfare.
That's right.
You think about, and that's why 5 is key too. It really took the family to the next level.
That's
So
right.
then when 6 had to
We're not
face a
gonna
rival
copy off
family,
you. It's
things are going to
fine.
get real.
Okay. Now 6 I liked because they were like up until that point it had been about like souped up new cars, right? And then in 6 that's when Tej goes and buys like he's a millionaire, right? So he goes and buys all the classic cars, and they have all those badass like old 60s and 70s cars
It's
they race
the
in.
one in London, right? And they can
That's right, that's the
flip
one in
the
London.
cars with their little like
the
go
little weird
karts.
razor scooter or not go kart,
also-
like RC car thing they had. And I was like,
Also, Paul Walker goes to jail.
oh,
He goes to find Braga to find out the
get him out.
information
Oh,
to
that's
figure
right.
out what's
and then he
going
has to get
on.
out of jail.
Yeah.
See, not to be confused with 8 when The Rock and Statham are in jail and become
Right.
best
True.
buddies.
True. Right.
For no reason. They
Now,
just drop all the pretenses, says,
Speaking
we
of
really love
Statham,
each other.
most important scene in all of Fast and Furious history,
End
the
of 6.
post-credit
End
scene
of 6.
where we see it's connecting it all. We're going
get
back
it.
to Tokyo.
I get
Han
it.
dies. Jason Statham did it.
I get it.
What the fuck?
I get it. Could you have made it look at all like the end of Tokyo Drift? Because it just doesn't look anything like that in Tokyo Drift. I'm
when that
sorry.
fucking Tokyo song started playing, though,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, we're
You
doing
don't,
it. It's
you don't know
happening."
me, but
I've never
you're
had a
about
theater
to.
experience like
That's
that.
right. You don't know me, but you're about to.
Right.
And then he blows up Dominic Toretto's family home.
Yep. Yeah.
That's right. Jason Statham is here, and
Now,
he's a force to be reckoned with.
You would
in
think
Furious
that
7.
those two things alone, killing Han and blowing up your family home that you grew up in and that you want to have one day kids in, would be enough to warrant not getting invited to the barbecue. But guess what? Dominic Toretto can forgive and forget.
skipping
That's right.
ahead.
Hey,
You forgive
we're
and forget,
skipping
my
ahead.
friend.
We're in Furious 7 now.
R.I.P.
Okay, Furious 7's the last one to feature Paul Walker.
Yeah.
The Rock spends the entire movie in
In
a
a
hospital
cast.
bed, which makes no sense. Dominic
Couldn't afford him.
Dominic crashes a helicopter by like shooting at it. It's
The thing about 7 is it is the most crazy set pieces.
Yes.
It is the most over the top the series has been thus far.
Not true, because then we get 8, and we get a friggin' submarine as a vehicle that they can pull through.
Lame.
And warheads.
Now I'm gonna tell you.
Like the rocket gets a warhead.
Dude, when that car went from building to building.
Into
To
a
building.
It
To
was
building.
pretty cool. And 7 has
Skydiving cars.
yes, but 7 also has, oh my God, what is her name? Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey comes in to kick shit, and she kicks Michelle Rodriguez's ass, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's
a good
right.
scene.
That was a
Daddy's
good
gotta
scene.
go to work.
Breaks
That
out
was a
the
great scene. And the best part
was
about that
cast.
scene was that, if you remember correctly, plot-wise, the entire thing was they had to steal the car to get the drive to use the satellites to find Jason
God's
Statham.
eye.
And every time they went anywhere, Jason Statham just showed up.
Yeah.
He just showed up. That scene particularly, they're like, we have a supercar that's, I guess, is kind of bulletproof because they kept firing at it. Nothing happened. Doesn't matter. And then Jason Statham shows up, and instead of hitting him with the car, they chose to jump to the other building. Genius.
Listen,
right?
you
Genius.
gotta
That's
keep it
that
going. You
Also,
gotta keep
also,
it going.
Important safety tip. They introduced what I feel like is probably going to be the standout character, Kurt Russell, in that
Yeah,
movie.
that's right.
Ooh.
Mr.
Great addition.
Nobody.
Great addition to the cast.
Mr.
Kurt Russell.
Nobody.
Pretty sure he had no idea what he was filming the entire time. Walked in,
Nope.
just smiled, slicked his hair back, put a suit on, was like, give him
was
a
great.
paycheck, and got the fuck out.
Also,
Fate.
there was the chicken fight between Statham and Vin Diesel when they drove their cars towards each other, jumped out and fucking beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah,
Midair.
he got his.
Fantastic.
It was almost a callback to his wrench beating
Oh, right.
from the first
Absolutely.
film.
Was that the one where they took down the parking structure?
Yep.
Yes,
System-
yes, they do.
It was
That is
also the
Furious
one
7.
where The Rock took down a fucking
Gatling
with a
gun.
minigun.
like he had a Gatling gun to take down what was that? A spaceship?
The
helicopter,
right? Was
yeah.
it
Was it
a
a
Chinook?
helicopter?
I feel like it was a
No,
Chinook
it was
or
like a
something.
drone
No.
thing.
Oh,
it was like
right,
a
right,
crazy laser drone.
Dominic takes out a helicopter.
The drone and uses it.
Damn.
Fate of the Furious.
I'm getting
See,
chills
yeah.
thinking about
Fate
this.
of the Furious.
And then we
it's
get-
gone a little bit too far.
Right.
Melisandre from Game of Thrones is back from Furious 7.
Which I'm down for.
Yep, love her.
She's a crazy
Natalie
hacker.
Emmanuel. Yes, she is. But
Which one's
Well,
Melissa? Wait,
Crazy
which one's
hacker.
Melisandre?
she's the girl who did
Daenerys's
God's Eye.
girl.
She's like she's Daenerys. Like,
Natalie.
yeah, Natalie
Dormer.
Emmanuel.
Right. She's fantastic.
She's
Gotta
amazing.
give,
She's back.
gotta give Tej a little love interest. You know what
Shout
I'm
out
talking
to Tej, man. Shout
Tej.
out to Tej.
I'm not going to say whether or not I do or do not like Fate of the Furious, but we've brought back characters from
clearly
Fast
don't
5.
like Fate of the
We
Furious,
have a
Meg.
friggin'
You said,
submarine.
and I quote, 2 minutes ago,
Dominic
it
has a
sucked.
goddamn baby that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah, that was weird.
But it gave us a great scene of them on the plane, the Statham, of the Owen brothers or whatever the fuck they're called, the Shaw
fight
brothers.
with
Shaw brothers.
Putting the baby around, hilarious
was
and
great.
amazing,
That was fantastic.
fantastic, so good. Yeah.
Now,
But
It's
it did end with, like you brought up earlier, Statham being invited to the fucking barbecue.
That's right.
Which is
Doesn't-
goddamn
Sacrilege.
blasphemy.
That's
Fuck
sacrilege.
that.
Even Michelle
Do not respect
Rodriguez
Han.
had problems with this. That's how bad it was. She's been on the record about it, which I appreciate Michelle Rodriguez.
No post-credit scene in 8. Fucking bullshit. Post-credit
No.
scenes are what make this franchise.
Because they have no idea where they're going in
ending
9.
with the post-credit
They
scene.
have no idea
revealing
where they're
Letty's
going in
identity.
9.
They're like, we've done everything. There's no
They're
more.
like,
There's no more
shit.
vehicles left to drive.
We do not care.
I'm going to give a shout out to a little movie called Superman Returns, because having a kid in that worked out so well for him that they were like, let's take that and let's bring it into.
You really think that's you think that?
No, it's just a terrible idea to give your main character a kid.
Yeah.
There's nothing fun or heroic or sexy about a fucking taking care of a baby.
But then they got to
true.
name it Brian.
And then, yeah, that's the thing. They already did the kid
Not
thing.
Han.
I'm not fucking
No,
Han.
not Han.
It should have been Han.
How you gonna name a kid Han?
It's a great name.
Brian.
It's a Brian.
He
It's
died,
true.
for fuck's sake.
In real life,
Yeah, that's the fucking
But Han's-
shout out, bro.
I get
Yeah.
it.
Han still.
Han died
Spoilers.
in-
Can I say that?
The actor that played Han still floating around there somewhere. He's another shit.
They shouldn't have named the baby Brian. They should have named the baby Paul.
That would've
I
been
thought that
amazing.
would have
If
been
they had said
better.
Paul, that
It would have been better.
because it made no fucking sense for it to name it Brian.
I
Uncle
get
Brian,
it
'cause
because
they're
they
best
all knew
friends.
him as Brian, but I feel
That's
like Paul would have
Han
been a sweeter
died
name.
years ago. We don't remember him.
I hate you.
How dare
You think Vin Diesel spends his days thinking about his lost Han and not Brian, who's living in fucking Reseda with his kid and his sister?
Can I just say one thing about Tokyo Drift? Because I know we all love
You
it
can
so much.
say
Can I
as
say
much
one
as you
thing
want about Tokyo
Drift? When the final drift scene in which DK flips his car,
Yeah.
and the next shot is everyone cheering. Do those sick fucks have any idea that you can die in a car accident? He could be dead.
They don't care.
And they are cheering.
He's
He's
a
not a bad
dickhole.
guy. He's fighting for the honor
No,
of
he's
his
a
and the
bad
love
guy.
of his uncle, who keeps
Bloodsport.
bringing up his dead dad.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, his uncle who's Sonny Chiba, and Sonny Chiba's a badass.
He's
So
one
there
of
you
the
go.
only 3 people in the film who's actually Japanese.
Fair.
All right.
Gaijin.
I met Brian T, the guy who played DK, and I'm bright red in the photo because I'm so happy to meet him. I met him at the Streamies one year, and I literally was like, "Can you get a photo, please?" I was so excited. All right, so are we ready for lists?
Wait,
We
I
are
have a
ready
question.
for the list.
Yeah.
Joey Noel's chiming in the question.
Are you including Los Bandoleros?
We're not including Los Bandoleros.
No.
We're not including Turbocharged, and we're not including Better Luck Tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
What are those? I don't even know what those are.
So okay,
They're like
just for
vignettes.
education to people.
Thank you.
There's a bridge between Fast 1 and Too Fast, Too Furious called Turbocharged that explains how Brian got from LA to Miami. And when I say that, I mean they showed a map and then they showed the little thing go from a
He's like Animaniacs or whatever.
He took
and
to get
then
to Miami.
the Turbocharged or Los Bandoleros takes place between Tokyo Drift and Fast 4,
yeah.
which explained how Han met Vin Diesel and how they met those two dudes that are in some of the movies and not in others.
Yeah, the guys who steal the gas with
I like
him,
the
yeah.
Cuban
I
guy.
love
guys are
them.
homies.
They're in 5, they're not in 6, they're not in 7, then they're in 8, and it's like,
Why do I always feel like those
like
guys
Uncharted,
at some
man.
point were voices for the Transformers and like Transformers 2? Weren't there like two stupid characters
Well-
that were like that?
if you're really dumbing things down, yes,
Fair
there-
enough,
yes,
fair
there
enough.
were. But okay, let's do this. And now here's the thing. Remember, we're not talking favorites. We're talking best. This is the definitive ranking,
Interesting.
which changes the
Best.
game.
It could change the
You got to
game
keep that in mind
slightly.
because it totally changes
You know
it
what?
for
But
me.
here's the
To be
thing.
fair-
I'm gonna wait.
None of these movies are great.
But
So
that's
it
we're
really
all,
is just
we're
favorites.
all yes, it is.
You can say that all you want, but that's not true.
We're
That's
all
the
they're
definition of the word
amazing.
best.
We all know
Thanks,
what
Greg.
we all know what we love.
Thanks, Greg.
We all know what we are.
Daddy's home.
Good, Greg. Thanks, Greg.
Not there. I'm not following you on
Awesome,
this one.
Greg.
These are
Thank
fun
Okay.
movies. I like.
Right
That.
on.
Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna
We starting at the top?
Start at the bottom. Number 8. Okay.
Okay.
So then you're gonna give from starting it, give it 1 point. Then
Yeah.
number 7 gets 2
Okay.
points. That sort of thing.
Andy, do
okay?
you understand the rules?
I understand the rules, Greg.
Okay, great.
Is
Then
it
drop the
possible
plinko.
for Andy to write them a little bit bigger, or are we running out of time for that?
I mean, we can make whatever you want happen, Joey.
Okay, never mind. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Easily the worst film in the franchise. Do we all agree?
You gotta wait and see.
Nah,
you gotta
no,
wait
no.
and see.
No, I'm going to agree with you on this
Yeah?
one because I know that Tim thinks 4 is the worst.
No.
Oh,
and he is a
interesting.
fucking monster.
No, you can't just say things, Nick.
He thinks it's the worst.
Forget about it, cuh. All
for
right.
it.
Fast and Furious, which is number 4, is number 7.
Got it.
It's awful.
Fast
Braga's
and
the
Furious
most.
number 4, which is number 7.
Fast and Furious, parentheses 4.
No, wait. Should he be putting? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
8 dashes, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to put 8 of them at some
It
point.
looks like it has 8 points. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
He's doing Roman numerals.
Is he doing Roman numerals?
No, it ticks, yeah.
There's a character in Fast and Furious named Roman.
That's right.
There is.
Number 5, right? Or number 6? Who cares? Oh, whatever. The Fate of the Furious.
Oh.
I put 8 way down my
Whoa.
list. It's too
Meg?
much. It's over
love
the
you.
top. Fuck this movie.
Whoa.
It's gotten too much.
So far,
movie.
I am right there with her.
I'm right there. I'm
alright.
gonna lie, I'm right there with you too.
Oh.
Fucking monster.
But
Right?
look, everyone can agree on like what the bottom 3 is.
Yeah.
This is when it
This
starts
is gonna
getting
get
interesting.
okay.
Here's where it is. Where Tokyo Drift is on your list is going to be very, very telling. Shut your.
At 8, you think.
Furious 7.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Controversial. It's getting controversial.
Not
here.
controversial
Okay.
at all. No, look at a lot of people give it credit. It was a very endearing movie.
It was.
It was a tearjerker. It was a farewell to someone we love very
That's
much.
right.
But it was not a good movie.
But it had the best action pieces.
had
It
It did have really good
one
action.
of them.
No, it
Really
had-
good
everything else
action.
was
I
terrible.
agree.
The cars jumping out of
That
the.
was it.
No,
That was-
the building cars, the cars parachuting out of the
The
thing.
Rock, who's one of your most
Paul-
charismatic characters, is in a goddamn hotel room the whole movie.
But all of his scenes are great.
So annoying. So annoying.
And
Did
the
not
Paul
like it.
Walker, like off the cliff thing was also 7.
Yeah,
Not
didn't
enough
come
to
Seven's
say
together.
nonstop, man.
Didn't come together for me.
Okay, it's gonna get even more controversial.
Here we go.
Fast 5.
Oh man.
5 points for Fast 5.
Oh
Fast
man.
Boo, I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that one.
Nick,
I'm right.
What?
Nick,
It's on the list, homie.
can somebody do me a goddamn favor? Go back and listen to all the
Okay.
times Nick has
I
ranked
understand.
things.
I understand. Fast 5 is a
Nick
great
is the
movie.
biggest
Fast 5
flip-flopper.
returned with everybody, like it actually being a fun action movie. I completely agree with that, but it's just, I have other movies ahead of it. Fast 5 is there. Okay. Then,
Still a good movie.
still a great movie.
I will say
Love
Fast
it.
Five still good. I just don't.
So
when I
good.
think about the ones I want to go back and watch, it's not in my top 3.
Wow.
I bet you could find a quote of Nick saying the exact opposite of that statement.
I will say
Well, this
Fast
is the
Five.
official ranking. Everything else
Tom
is just
Hawkins.
Hawkins. Son.
All right.
Like no one gives a shit about the 162 games that come before the fucking Super Bowl.
You're
Am I
right. You're right.
Exactly.
Well, seriously.
Thank you.
Fast Five features one of the best ad libs of the whole series, which is when The Rock comes up and he says, "You better hide your baby oil," and then The Rock ad libbed, "You better hide that big ass forehead," and Ludacris chokes on his beer. An actual ad lib.
Love it.
Love that. Fast and Furious 6.
6 points for 6.
There you go. Yeah. Now it's splitting up, isn't it?
A little bit now.
Followed up by The Fast and the Furious. Started it all. Absolutely love that
see,
movie.
I can't agree
So
with
good.
this.
See, we're diverging here.
Going under the 18-wheelers. We'd never seen anything like it.
We had
It was
not seen anything.
un-
So
True.
good.
It is
So
true.
inventive.
No one had thought
I believed
to
all
make
the
Honda Civics do
storyline.
that.
I was sad when the kid who smoked pot, the engineer, died. I feel
Yeah.
like... And then obviously Tokyo Drift. Finest film in the
I
franchise.
love you. I love you so much. But again, Tokyo Drift, my favorite.
Bold choice.
I can't say it's the best.
Bold choice. It's
Love it.
I think as a
Love it.
standalone film,
Yes, it is.
it is a
It
well-made
is so
film.
fun. It's
Absolutely.
so fun.
You know,
You don't
I
need
think
to tell
great
me.
driving.
I think that I would.
don't need to sell me
I
on
would
Tokyo
argue that
Drift.
out of like when you're talking just raw story beats, that it hits all of them better than any other films in the franchise.
I feel like
Also-
honestly, it's not relying on huge, ridiculous stunts.
What am I thinking?
It's an
3
action-
words. Zachary, Ty, Brian.
yes.
Bow wow.
Yes. Zachary, Ty,
Twinkie
Brian.
when he's making his return.
I understand.
When you make the kid from Home Improvement the bad guy.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm sorry. I wish I had Jonathan Taylor Thomas though in it.
That would've
because
been-
that would have been fucking
yeah.
amazing.
It would've.
Yeah.
But
I
whatever,
understand. The
what are you gonna
beginning is. We're gonna call that a vignette of that movie, all right?
Eh,
But
good
when
lord.
they get to Tokyo, it's like my favorite thing about Tokyo Drift is that it doesn't rely on submarines or warheads. This is things people actually do. People can actually drift.
can
It's
drift.
an actual, and it came back to actual racing and actual driving styles as opposed to
A
mindless action.
submarine. Yeah.
I'm with it.
I
It's a
retire
good
my
list.
list.
That's a good. It's not a great list,
No, it's not a great
but it's a
list.
good list.
It is
Solid
not a great
list.
list.
No, interesting,
Solid
Andy.
list.
There's a couple points that you made that I really agree with, but then there's just some things I think we just fundamentally disagree on.
Fine.
And I get it. I totally
That's
get
America,
it.
man.
Nick,
I'm up next. Okay, so you got me all the way until the top 3 choices.
Okay.
So
we
I'll-
must have
what?
the same 3 in the top 3, but they're just
We
ordered
have the same
differently?
3, but we have different.
So I don't feel
we
like
have
we're that
different-
far off one another.
Right, I think.
Okay.
Right.
You walk Andy.
I'll walk
Yeah,
Andy through.
yeah.
So I have bottom of my list 2, 4, 8,
We're going so good.
7.
Well, hold on. This is confusing.
Yeah.
2, 3,
4,
4.
there you go.
Okay.
Okay. 5. Now again, I like 5 a lot, and I think 5 was a good turning point for the
Such a great
series.
movie.
But I feel like 6 took it up a notch, and 6 to me, and this. Well, let me just go in order.
Yeah,
Let
keep
me go in
going.
order. I'm sorry, I
Keep going.
apologize. At the number 3 spot, Tokyo Drift.
I knew that was coming. That's all right.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Love Tokyo Drift.
right there.
Love it as a standalone movie, but it's too far removed for the majesty that is the rest of the
you
series
go.
for it to be number 2 or number 1.
losing the number
Now,
one.
Tim, here's where you and I are going to diverge.
fucking hate
My
you.
friend.
Don't do it, Nick.
I got to do it.
Don't do it.
The number 2 spot goes to 6.
I hate
And I'm going to tell you why.
so much.
I'm gonna tell you why.
In our definitive ranking of the Fast and the Furious, the first one is going to be high. This is bullshit.
I'm going to
Flip
tell
the
you. I'm
table.
going to tell you why right now. 6, I feel like, and again, the strong argument can be made for 6 being number 1. 6 took everything that the series was and just went boom. We're going to perfect it. It doesn't get better than 6.
I
I don't think they're ever going to. I don't think they're ever going to climax 6 as far as like the action set pieces, the 55 fucking mile long runway, the fact that all the
Statham
fight
at the
scenes that
end.
were happening, all the fucking Star Wars action that was like on 5 different
When
planes
Giselle
happening.
died.
Giselle dying, that emotional moment upon great. But
It was when they went back to Tokyo.
Oh, that's
even
right. They did
during
go back
the
to
movie.
Yeah.
we see what's his name? Lucas Black. Is that his name?
No, that was
No.
7.
Oh, was that 7? Okay, that's 7. So I love 6. I love what 6 did. I think 6 had the most best choreographed action. Everything just hit on all cylinders for me. But I still hold that you don't get there without the majesty that is number 1. And I think number 1 has.
This is like saying, "Oh, Super Mario Brothers is the best Mario game." Are you smoking reefer?
I think that when I go back.
Are
and here's
you a
the thing.
truant officer from 1956?
I spot a fucking guy. I know a cop when I see a cop. You fucking nug. You got a fucking nug. But here's the thing. I love one so much because I think one is perfect in its purity. Right? It is it's the most rawest, purest form of Fast and It's uncut cocaine of Fast and Furious, right? It really is about the racing. It's about that culture. It's about the the modified like Japanese racing cars, all that stuff, and that world of street racing.
So
right?
some would argue that it's not the most pure Fast and Furious movie because Fast and Furious is about one thing, Nick.
What is that?
Family.
And what do we meet in that family? And who
Olive
becomes
Garden.
a part of
But
the
that's what I'm
family
saying.
in that family?
That's why
And is
the
there a
family-
barbecue at the end of that movie?
There is, but the family that we know,
Actually,
the
is there a barbecue at the
extended
end of that
family
movie? I don't think there's a barbecue at the end of that movie.
Of what movie?
Of one?
There absolutely
Yes,
is.
there is. Yes, there is, because he has to say grace.
Doesn't he let him go at the
Well,
end of one?
he does go, but it's not like the end. It's not the final scene.
There's a barbecue.
There is a barbecue in the
There
movie,
is a
but not at the
barbecue.
end.
in the
Right,
movie.
okay. See,
So-
He touches the food first.
I go back and watch one every so often, right? And I'm like, this
Because it's
movie,
a good movie.
It is a good
It is
movie.
it is a good movie. I just there's something so nostalgically like perfect about that movie. It's a sign of the times. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, they're stealing like DVD players or some shit in it. Like,
Yep, they're selling
it wasn't
DVD
exactly like it was.
They were
Yeah.
stealing TV, VCR.
Yeah, it was
combo
like it's not like they were
DVD.
fighting the best crime on the planet. Like, no, there was no earth-shattering like MacGuffin that
It
was
was
going to
real.
take over every
It
car.
was real.
It was real. It was just,
It
hey,
was.
this is a small little story, and it was about brotherhood, and I like that.
Which
right?
I would argue is why Tokyo Drift is such a good film because, again, you're not trying to end the world.
You're trying
It's
to
just
drift.
two
It's just
guys
about the race.
jockeying up against each other.
Right, it's
And
two
that's
guys.
why
three
Which
is
one of
better
us
than
has
one.
the bigger dick? Or
I
faster?
enjoy both of them. I'm actually happy with your list. I'm okay. My top three are not so set in stone that I can't see that there is another way to order them.
I appreciate that.
All right,
Appreciate that.
Tim, would you like to come with your bullshit?
I would. I love how you say you haven't even heard it.
I haven't.
You
I'm
haven't
ready.
even
Okay.
heard it. Bottom of the list is 2.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm hungry.
Next up is 4.
Hungry.
Next up is 8.
Oh wow! I can't believe 8 was so. I thought 8 would be controversial for sure.
No, because
Andy,
it's
how
just
hard is
not
this for
as
you
good
right
as
now?
any of the modern ones. I love
It's
it.
complicated.
It's
'cause
complicated.
It's got 8 hashes at some
Yeah.
point.
It's so hard, yeah.
The thing I want to make clear about 8 is that
could've
2
just
is
written the
bad,
number.
4 is bad. 8's not bad. 8
It's
is
not
when
bad.
like I'm
It's
like,
just
all right,
not
cool. From here on
nearly
up,
in the field.
I'm down.
Yeah.
1.
Interesting.
Whoa, bro.
Dude, it's a great movie, but I mean
that
the
your
other
third?
ones.
No, it's
That was my 4th.
5th.
That's your
1,
fifth?
2, 3. 1 is my 4th.
Oh, 4. 4. You're right.
I'm gonna tell you one thing right now, okay? And this is something you need to take with
believe
you
you
when you
tanked
leave this
it.
office today. You didn't even know what nitrous oxide was before 1, my friend.
That's true.
The NOS!
That is true.
Yeah. Before that, I just thought when you turned this, no, I don't know what the fuck it did. I know you can put that in your car. Boom.
In 7, they put it in a gun.
There's
Everybody
nothing more
keep going.
Fast and
That's
Furious
fair.
about that shit. That's what I'm saying. To me, Fast and Furious is the over-the-top shit. Now, what you're talking about the standalone, it's a smaller story. Yeah, obviously, next up is Tokyo Drift. It is a great story.
Wow, you are tanking so many rankings right now.
Shots
Now,
fired.
here's
Wait
what's
till I
important,
come
though.
off the bench.
Again, Tokyo Drift, my favorite movie.
favorite one,
Just not
too.
the best, but
Fuck
it is
all
my
of you.
favorite.
Christ.
Next up, 6.
Oh man.
I love 6. Love it to death.
Wow.
Wait, where is? I'm sorry, I'm lost
We're
on your
gonna
list.
have a
Where
tie
is
on
6 on your
3
list?
of
What
them
number is
now.
3? Number 3 is 6.
Yep.
We
Number
have-
3 is 6.
We have a tie 3 ways right
Number
now for number
7,
one.
or whatever, the next one
Is 7.
is Furious 7.
7 points.
So
Because
the
I think-
second best Furious movie is Furious,
Furious 7. Because it is cheating a little bit because of Paul Walker and that whole scene, which I'll give it that. And yeah, there's a lot of problems with the writing and the plot because they had to write around and edit around all that.
Sure.
However, I do believe that it is the most Fast and Furious movie. The action scenes, everything about it, the stupid ass
Justin
banter,
Lin is
the
rolling
one-liners.
over in his grave right now that
He's-
you like a
he's
James
alive.
Wan film better than his.
Well, then
dare
number
you.
1, Fast 5.
Wow.
Okay, that's fair.
Wow.
So you're gonna give Fast 5? Well, I don't know. I can't get behind this list, Tim.
Fast
can't get
5 is
behind
the
your list at
easiest-
all.
Can't get
Easiest
behind it.
answer to number 1.
I
Easiest
knew
one.
that Tim was my favorite, and this just confirmed
It's true.
Wow.
Fast 5, they spend the entire movie training to rob a fucking thing, and
Which
then they
is
don't do it.
awesome.
They don't even do it. The whole thing. We got like 50 there's like 50 minutes of them trying to run this stupid fucking race course, and then you're like, you know what we should do instead? Just go get the vault and drag it out.
But they had Han who taught them how to drift, and it was a beautiful moment.
it did
and
it,
that's what him
for
and
what
Giselle
reason?
fell in
It was
love.
all for
That's
nothing.
the movie that has the scene of all of them. No matter what happens, the most important thing will always be the people in this room right here, right now.
Wait, can I
It's
just
about
say?
family. It's
Can
about
I just
family.
say? He says that shit every fucking
He
time,
really
and there's
does.
always different
He really
people
does
in
say
the room.
something. There's a lot of people in the room.
But that was the first time
Everyone
he did
can't be
it.
family, Tim.
Okay, you know
Well,
how many people
Jason
in the
Statham
family?
can't be family.
No, he's family now.
I will
According
say-
to your number
That's-
2 on the list.
Number 3.
Oh, Timbo.
Okay, cool.
All right, Greg, do you have a list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why does everyone think I hate the
Well,
Fast
I
and the
didn't think
Furious
you did.
movies?
I just thought because you were subbing and Andy, I didn't know if you'd.
I'm not. I just want Andy to be part of the conversation.
Okay.
Nick again was trying to get me off this topic to bring in Andy for some
Because I
fucking
feel like
reason.
Andy actually cares. And you're
What do you
just
mean
gonna-
I
because
don't
you're not gonna
care?
take
I've
this
watched
serious.
all these movies multiple times.
Well,
I
he's, can,
Virgin America, tiny ass
Not even
screens.
true.
You watched Fast 6 on a Virgin America airplane, Greg.
Greg,
And you
do
didn't
you
even
have any
finish
idea?
it. You didn't even see the post-credit scene.
Do you have any
until I
idea
forced you to watch
what
it on
you're
YouTube.
about to do? Because there's a
Oh, yeah.
three-way tie for
That's
first
what I'm
place.
saying.
You're about to fuck up
Oh,
everything.
I know. I don't know why I went last, but you
All
guys
right.
gave me a lot of power. Here
All
we
right,
go.
Greg.
Wait,
Now
I have
here's
a question.
Yeah.
Because this is the definitive kind of funny ranking, this means that me and Kevin and Andy and Cool Greg get a say in this as well.
Not cool, Greg, because he
Wrong.
hasn't seen them all. But
Okay,
you two,
the other
Wrong.
three.
I'll give it to
The
him.
three of us.
Well, now-
Wrong.
To that point, we have to have a conversation because I never saw Fast 8.
What?
So that's unranked
Did you
for me
not
right
come
now.
with us?
No, you guys. I went and hung out with the Walking Dead cast.
I have my ranking ready to go.
I just feel
Well, no,
like
like,
you
so my
should
question
not
is,
get
should
a
I-
ranking if
Well, I'm
you
saying
haven't seen them.
I should be penalized one way or another. Should it be that I don't get to give out as many points for my number one, or I don't give out any points for what would be my last choice? I've brought it to
I
the
don't
table.
think this
Where the
works
math
that way.
falls
I
apart.
don't think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
It does.
I think you have to. I think you have to
rank.
rank it somewhere, and it has to be dead last on your list because you haven't seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Well, I mean, the whole reason I didn't see it is because this movie
You
sounds
can't
like
give
garbage.
it first. You can't be like, "This is the
not
best movie." I
garbage.
haven't seen it.
No,
it's got to be
because it
last.
goes against it. Him coming to the barbecue is bullshit.
This is the fucking
Period.
asterisk. I'm gonna be honest with you
gotta
right now.
be
This when we do this rank, it's gonna go on Reddit, and someone's gonna put a fucking asterisk by it. But like, it doesn't count because Greg hasn't seen. 8.
I just feel like Andy's list should sub in for Greg's. I feel like
Too
you
bad
should
it's
have
not
a
called
list,
the
but it's
Andy
not.
Over Show. You know what I mean? Bend over, Andy. All right then.
Can we rename it?
Well, then I guess give Furious 8 or whatever.
1 point.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's Fate of the Furious, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Hey
I mean,
man,
to be
I didn't
fair-
want to play it this way,
To
but
be
you guys
fair,
want to play it that way.
I'm happy with that.
I'm fine with that.
I'm happy with that.
I'm totally down.
Then my first one that I hate the most is Too Fast, Too Furious. We hungry?
Okay. You've got my respect back,
Then it's Fast and Furious.
Number 4.
sir. You had my curiosity, and now you have my attention.
Then Fast and Furious 6. Sorry.
No,
No.
You didn't watch it.
Just a
Cat Greg.
groan.
I
You didn't
did watch
the
it.
end. No, you didn't watch the end.
I
Just
did.
a groan from Joey
did.
over in the peanut
I
gallery.
did.
Oh,
Sorry.
God.
Sorry, guys. We then moved to the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Wow.
We
Also
then
very low.
we then moved to Fast 5.
Wow.
That's right.
That is offensive.
The motherfucking Rock. Wonder Woman is good. Hell yeah. Then the Fast and Furious.
Okay. I thought you were about to give it number.
The Fast and the
Number
Furious.
one.
The Fast and the
I can't
Furious.
believe
Number
how
1.
highly
Number
ranked
one.
one is.
It's a great
One
flick.
is a great film.
It is.
Here's my problem. You were inside a womb when that movie came out. I was
have
inside an
seen every
AMC
single
theater
one of these
watching it and
movies.
loving
That's
it.
why-
It's one of those things
In
like,
theaters.
look, like, let's take Star Wars, right? I'm sorry to interrupt you for
I
a
don't
second.
mind. Do your thing. We're on the same side.
Force Awakens, great. It's a better movie than A New Hope, right? But you can't rank it above A New Hope. You just can't do that.
I can't.
Then it's not a better movie, Nick.
You can't. A New Hope is better because it was the original, because it did everything that everything else is based off of.
But that's when you're talking about better. That's like literally not the definition of the word.
You said not like,
not
see,
revolutionary.
so I'd rather go back and watch
Innovative.
7. I like 7. 7's probably like it's a more pleasurable, fun movie to watch. But what you said when we started this off, which one is like the movie, like the ranked movie, like better,
the best. Yeah.
yeah, the best.
Then my
A
number
New
one
Hope
pick is Furious 7.
Okay.
And I feel like that's where I need to stop with the franchise. And it's another reason I don't want to watch 8, because it was the perfect ending. And we don't need to go back and do anything else. I don't need to see Jason
Give it.
Statham at the table.
Sing it to me.
It's
I don't know.
whoa, whoa. That's the thing. For many of you, you were in Vin's car, where the road just kept going. I was in Brian's car. I went over there. I'm over there with Brian.
there.
He's got his list.
Brian and Sloan from Entourage. Let's see what she's up
Joey,
to.
make your list right now. We need to do this.
Oh, I
Aren't
have
these
my list.
beautiful?
Jo-
I am
Joey's got it
prepared.
upstairs.
I have some of
You wanna
those.
get a mic?
Jason, I
Get a
pull
mic,
out
Kev.
I'm gonna read
box set.
Kevin's list.
All right, we're
Those
reading
only
Kevin's
ones-
list.
The first 5 were out.
Do you want to stop and
Do you have
add
the
up
wheel,
the
the
hash
tire
marks? Is that
one?
going to be easier for
I
you?
have 6 and 7 in
Okay,
the
cool.
middle.
I like the suspense of us adding.
Sure. Oh, getting our abacus out. Yeah, sure. Okay.
So starting at
This
the
is
end.
Kevin's list as read by Nick Scarpino.
Starting.
Kevin's list.
All right.
Do you want to read your list? Or you want me to read it?
Oh, you can read it.
Okay. Kevin's list starting at the end. Number 5.
Interesting.
Is that correct?
As
Am I
the
reading that
last
correct?
one?
As the
As
worst movie?
The worst.
What? No. So. Oh God. Number 6. No.
What happened here?
Kevin.
He wrote
should just
1.
read
He
it.
wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then number down.
Number 1 is that. See, 1.
Oh, so you've gone for. You need to
I
go
went
from the
backwards.
bottom.
Sorry.
You were going to my point.
Here's what I need you to do. Just take this back. don't write which one's which. Just write your list, starting from 1 all the way to 10.
All right, let's start with Joey.
Right.
Joey's
This
list.
is
Look,
a
she did the
hanging
right way.
Chad.
Joey, worst movie in the series.
Yes.
2.
Correct.
All right.
The Fast
I
and the
feel like
Furious.
there's no other answer for
No,
that.
we hate that.
There
movie.
is
These are
none.
pretty
There is
definitive
none.
here,
At
yeah.
one point, at some point, I think Tyrese just stopped acting in the movie. He was just like,
He was
he
hungry.
just started stealing shit. They're like,
People
write it into
comment-
the script.
People comment on Twitter and YouTube all the time, like, 2's one of the better. It's like, you're fucking
You're an
crazy.
idiot.
Blessing, I'm
Damien?
looking at you, you motherfucking
Blessing.
piece of shit. All right.
Damien
Did
Sore,
introduce the
another one.
Oasis though.
Oasis.
Yeah.
And
Let's slap that ass.
Was Suki
Yep.
in one?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Suki
And
slapped
Suki-
Slap that
there it
ass.
is.
Did you know that that's Steve Aoki's sister?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and Tej got
And Jin.
and Ludacris got
Well,
introduced now,
yeah.
right? Yeah, there you go. But he was. What I love is how amazing Ludacris's career went from running illegal wave race races to then being like a satellite genius
Yeah.
in computer programming. Really, that
It was
ITT
that
tech
fun.
He's
paid off.
multifaceted.
If only they hadn't killed off the original genius at computers in the
Yeah.
first film.
Which one was that?
There's a
Shout
kid
out
who
to
was
him.
like,
Was
I just
Jesse?
can't,
Was
I
that
can't,
Jesse? No, it
I
wasn't
can't
Jesse, was it?
concentrate. I gotta smoke pot so I can calm
Well,
down.
he had a fucking jet. He was an
He
idiot.
got shot.
Next
got
movie,
shot. That's
Racing
right.
for Pinks.
4. Okay, then we have 8.
This is Joey's
Yeah,
list.
man.
Rounding out the bottom 3.
All right. The bottom 4 are confirmed, or 3 at least. The 3. The bottom 3 are confirmed.
Yeah, get over
All
it.
right.
I can't forgive Farhan.
Can't.
Okay. Okay.
Never forgive,
Okay.
never
And
forget.
also, let's just call a spade. And Dominic Toretto turning on his family. There's no plot device that can make that make sense.
Oh my God,
They
guys,
tried.
is it serious? Is he turned on him?
Guys, we've
oh,
been
wait, he's always
literally-
been part of that family. Oh my God.
We've been literally through hell together over the last 15 years. I can't believe he would do
I would
this.
say Charlize Theron deserves better also. Just want to say that.
Against her too.
Her hair, those
Is
dreads.
this the
Dreads, blonde
this
dreads.
is-
Who
yeah,
did
fourth
this?
worst.
Who,
Fourth
who did
worst.
she hurt?
Is number 7. Do you think that was her choice to wear that wig?
No way. That
Who
is
the
someone in
fuck?
makeup who she
worst is number
spurned.
what, 8?
No, number 7.
7's next.
Number 7.
As the fourth. As,
7
as,
should get 4 points.
Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 7 should get 4.
That's how like confound. I'm so confused by that. Wow.
I'm confused by all of this. I have no idea if this math is correct. Next movie, 1.
Wow.
Fast and the
5
Furious.
points for that.
And that is ranked.
That is so wrong.
Wow, that's brutal.
That's a choice.
Rounding out the top 3, Tokyo Drift. Now, I think Tokyo
I'm okay.
Drift
All right, I'm
belongs
okay
in the
with
top 3.
It warms
I'm
my
okay
heart
with
to
that.
hear Tokyo Drift up
Right.
there.
I'm okay with that.
Next movie, number 2,
Wait.
6.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I
Number
apologize. In the second slot, 6.
So good 7 points.
And her top is number 5. That's rounding out number 1. Kevin.
What a list. What a
Give me your list.
goddamn list,
Give me your
Joey
list. Here we go.
Noel.
So it's from the bottom to the top.
I'm gonna throw a wrench.
Okay,
in this
got
shit.
it.
That makes sense.
It does. It does.
Okay.
Last, number 2. Then Kevin has 4. I think we can all agree those are the last. That I think has been universal, unless Andy fucks it up for everyone.
No.
Then?
Okay. Then 5.
Wow.
Brutal.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Brutal. And then very low on his list, much lower than it should be. The original Fast and Furious, number 1.
Wow. No, Kevin.
Heartbreaking.
Ashamed.
The tuna
next,
fish.
number 8.
The Corona.
Popping into the top 3, Tokyo Drift is next. I feel like that's
8
gonna
over
be
5.
Tokyo Drift's been in that spot, like in those in those 2
Yeah.
spots for a while.
Except for me.
7 is the next one, and then 6 is his number 1 spot.
Respectable.
Now I can respect that. Your number 1 spot I can respect.
need to have
This right
opinions.
here is bullshit. We're number 1 ranked, but you know Tokyo Drift and 6. As long as Tokyo Drift and 6 make it into the top 3, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. Now Andy,
I'm about to throw a wrench in this. Guy.
you better throw a
All right,
wrench in your
what's your
fucking
bottom?
career, son.
What's your bottom?
This is your career.
The worst is, of course, Too Fast and
Fast
Furious.
Okay.
All right, fair.
Second worst is the original.
sir.
It's an old movie. It's fucking terribly acted.
Take it as it
It's
was.
awful.
So,
Damn.
important to note, everyone at home, Andy Cortez had never seen any of these movies.
Until last
and then
year.
watched all of them.
No, I had seen most of 1 as a kid because that's how I got into Need for Speed
As a
Underground.
kid, get the hell out
You
of
also
here.
you watched
baby.
all of them 6 months ago, so you weren't you weren't a part of the family till 6 months ago. my
That gives
friend.
him perspective, Nick.
Yeah.
That gives him the wrong perspective.
No, this
Right.
was like 3 months
All right.
ago.
Go
yeah.
ahead then.
That's like this is the kind of shit that makes people think Phantom Menace is a good film. Oh,
Three
it's pretty
is-
good compared
three
to the
is-
first Star Wars film. It was
4.
terrible.
Wow, he thinks 4 is better than the original.
Wow. That's shocking.
That is bold.
Braga.
Bold.
4 points
Braga.
goes to Tokyo Drift.
Wow. Andy.
You got some bad
I can't tell if
opinions.
Tokyo Drift won or is it just the longest
5
title out of them.
points goes to Furious 8. Did I do that right?
Good
No.
job, Fast 8.
Well, it doesn't matter. Fast 10 can't rank another horror anyway.
I'm doing 6 points for Fast 5.
Hell yeah, you are.
And then rounding out the top 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope.
Wait, no, 7.
There you go. And it's Furious 7.
Furious 7 got that.
And then 6 gets the 8 points. 6 is my favorite Fast and Furious.
interesting.
6, man. 6
Interesting.
might have
I get
it.
into it.
Whew. This is tense.
I cannot believe.
All right. Can we count out the totals? Turn it around.
Let's vamp.
Worry about-
We'll do what they call vamp. For a
Okay.
little
I
while.
mean, I can just do the outro while you tallies them,
Oh.
right?
I want to know what it is. We're not going to tell the kids?
No,
Check
I'm
back
saying
next
while
week,
he
Nick.
does the math.
I was playing into a bit, and you fucking stepped it into the ground.
You're such a piece of
You
shit.
stepped it into the
I want to
ground.
fucking kill
Oh,
you.
yeah, that's what he said.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where every dollar helps us be better than the last day. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't get those dollars, we'll go back and be bad and eat babies. If you don't want to see babies,
Does your fucking head
I love that you're
go?
going with if you don't want us to eat babies, get to Patreon.
yeah, exactly. If you want to see us eat children, though, like Kevin would, look at you, you would.
I've
seen-
baby.
Can't you imagine this sick fuck over here putting a baby in a sous vide machine? You know what I'm
I
saying?
bet if there's a country where it was legal to eat babies, Kevin's like, you know what? Not that bad. I ate a baby. It was pretty good.
You can go over to youtube.com/kindafunny, get the show broken up by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video in MP3 the following Friday. How do we do?
Start at the bottom.
You want to hand me the mic?
Sure.
Bottom of the list, of course, Too Fast, Too Furious
Boom.
with 8 points.
Sure.
The next one is Fast and Furious 4
Natch.
with 16 points. Third worst movie. Now, are we calling them worse at this point, or are we
Yeah,
just
that's
like...
fine.
Okay. The bottom third on the list is Furious 8 with 22 points.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fourth worst movie
That's me and you.
is Fast and Furious 1 with 36
So
points.
far, this is my list.
Ow.
This is a fat load of bullshit.
That is so bad. Okay.
Next on the list is Tokyo Drift with 40.
It's my list, bros.
How do I get out
The
of here?
following one is Fast 5 with 41
damn.
points,
Damn.
followed by Fast and Furious 7 with 42 points, and Fast and Furious 6 with 46 points.
All right.
So
Can I
6
just
is
say,
our
if
winner.
this
6
list-
is the winner.
If this list were a national anthem, I'd be taking a knee.
Wow.
I'm
This list
protesting
is
this
as
list.
definitive as it gets. It is my list with 5 and 6 switched.
I am protesting this list.
Let us know in the comments what your list is and why Need for Speed is a better movie than any of these put together.
Bitch.
Meg, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Everybody follow her. Patreon.com/Meg Turney.
On the internet. Don't
Twitter,
follow me in real life.
the Instagram. Don't follow her in real life if you see her.
YouTube.com/Meg.
And until next time, no. It's been our pleasure to serve
I think
you.
there's actually like debate on whether or not the math
Wait,
is right.
is the math wrong?